really move around the map and get these pickoffs that 23 is really enjoying getting. Some top of the net worth at the moment too.
Necro also having a good time. You need to upgrade boots on Necro. Like, Necro feels so slow, even with power threads. Power threads plus Yule Scepter, 320 movement speed? What? Like, this hero's not moving. I thought it's gonna be like around 330, 335, maybe?
Just 320.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
So Shadow Word is maxed out. Okay. Thoughts? Okay-ish. You know, I still prefer, because you can put points later on. It's a lot of damage, it's a lot of heal mid lane.
Hook shot missed, but they've got the hook stomp coming through. They'll have Cogs to wrap around FBZ with the air spike hitting out of the Necro. Timber Chain out, and the cold snap on a Whitemon. EMP drop down. Cuckoo is already at about half mana. They rip apart Whitemon with FBZ, and they're still chasing. LSA, right clicks from Carl, Laguna Blade, and the Chaotic Offering down on top of Cuckoo and Carl, but no follow-up to it.
That wasn't even close. Like, this Timbersaw is going to be full HP. Like, even if Lina had Aghanim Scepter at this point, like, the pure damage wouldn't kill him.
Wow. Yeah, all right, Laguna Blade used and Chaotic Offering down.
Yeah, seems like we had some issues with the stream. The stream seemed to be down, but we're now back. Potentially because Warlock put more than 2 points in Shadow Word. So the stream went down.
That's the power of putting 2 in the Shadow Word, or more than 2 in Shadow Word.
Oh, and he finds it. This is the dream for Warlock. Finds the Philly Stone. 80 GPM.
He's not taking much damage here. Hook shot, still to control it. Now they've got to the Haunt. They've got the Ear Spike. They'll land it on a Whitemon. Get the kill there. Look over at Cuckoo. Timber Chain forward. FBZ moving in. Again, these heroes on T1 just don't really have the damage to kill the Timber.
Also liking the itemization on Timbersaw this time around. Not going for any greedy build. Thinking about the team more. Finishing that pipe, and now going back to Bloodstone, which is okay. Was thinking about getting the Guardian Greaves, but there's no Spirit Vessel. Nothing to really dispel in this game. So, like, pipe is really good against the magical damage that they got. Will mitigate a lot of it.
Up into the air, looking for the hook stop. That lands. Tornado comes through, hits onto 2. Earth Spike also hits on 2. Every time you say Filet Stone,
yeah,
it sounds like a yogurt brand. Filet.
Filet? Yeah. Sounds very classy. And he's the one keeping it, because Lion already has his Blink Dagger, so that's okay. 1 point in mana drain on Lion sometimes is a bit problematic, because you just don't get enough mana back.
Spectre, Blink, Hoof Stomp. Doesn't avoid it. Now they've got the Reaper Scythe. The damage in so quick on a Dream Cell. Dead for 75.
Yeah, those extra seconds coming out from the Reaper Scythe. 25, level 2 ulti is a lot. You know, especially on a hero like a Spectre. So now they're going to go inside the pit. Mental Style done on Morphling. Will tank up some damage from the Roshan.
Sunstriker spotted. They don't have Spectre for so long. You know, this could be a problem. Chakram thrown in, Tornado, EMP, all missing.
Like, this is bugged. This can't be real. Like, Necro's move speed is not 320 with Faded Brooch, Yule Scepter, and Power Threads. It's definitely bugged.
Could be. Earth Spike, Finger, Zephyr gone. They pick up the Aegis onto 23. Okay. Looks like 23 was stuck there for a second.
I like how you get the voice lines from the hero you morph into.
So do you get the voice lines based on the level you are on morph on the heroes you morph into?
I'm not a morph player.
Okay.
I only play good heroes, the heroes that are fun to play. You know, the heroes that are not completely busted for 5 years in a row.
Yeah. I guess I'll have to ask a Morph player to answer that question for me. There's probably at least one in chat.
So yeah, his movement speed is 280, so that move speed is bugged.
Wait, it's 280. So it's
280
even less.
is starting, yeah. So he gets 45 from power treads, so that gets him to 325. Faded Brooch is 20. Yule Scepter also gives 20. So yeah, for some reason it's bugged.
Carry the one. It's 365. On use, Spirit Vessel onto the Centaur. They'll continue to try and jump. They've got the cold snap on him. Hostop actually hit the Timber as he was Timber chaining across, but Zephyr's still dead.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Spirit Vessel does help to get the kill. too careful. They're on the high ground waiting for him. They should kind of understand that, considering where they've been on the map so far.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
They move forward, and LSA comes in with the BKBB pop by FBZ. Tornado flying through. Sunstrike, that lands. White on gone. BKB about to run on FBZ, so how deep can he be? They look over at 23. They've got the Chaotic Offering. He pops the Manta. He's got the BKB. He's trying to run away with himself, turning into the Timber, so he's morphed his Timber Chain away. The LSA lands onto the Spectre. Break damage, is it enough? They've got the break for the moment, but that's going to wear off before they're able to output the damage they need to get the kill out of the Spectre. They look over at Carl, the Timber Chain from FBZ.
They should get more out of this.
Carl. They've slowed him down. Timber Chain again sticking with this Lina, but Lina starts to speed up and may get out of the grasp of Boom. Finally, they catch up. Dust and the finger from high to get the kill on a Carl. Sunstrike?
Sunstrike. Ooh, he morphed. He morphed. They have no Lina for 70 seconds, no buyback on her. Roshan just respawned. Like, they don't have the Haunt, they do not have a Warlock ulti, no finger, but they should still try to go in and at least force a buyback from Lina, which she doesn't have. But try to poke it, see what happens. Rocket will scout things out.
They need to have somebody standing where that hook shot might come from.
Radiant are scared.
So much damage. Desolate, illusions from Spectre.
That's where
Who's
FBZ
gonna block
needs
the
to
hook
be.
shot? Centaur could potentially go in with the Force Staff. Kescute.
Not going to be in time to block it, but they pick up the Aegis, and they've got the Earth Spike. Spectre also picked up the Axe Shard and Cheese, so everything's secured there for Boom.
Let's see if he decides to use it or if he decides to give it to the Timbersaw. Spectre Shard is okay. Against certain lineups, they're gonna find Zephyr, so this should reveal the ward, the anti-Tinker ward on the high ground. So Spectre's still not consuming it. Mikoto already has a shard for himself, so does Warlock. A Lion Shard is good, and he finally consumes it. So yeah, you can cast Dispersion on the hero that damaged you in the last 8 seconds. Like potentially jump on a Clockwork, he uses a rocket on you, and then suddenly you jump him, which is not that bad.
lead.
This is big. Like this is game changer. You know, having Spectre with Aegis, with the cheese. Yeah. So you need to be careful how you're gonna use that Reaper sight. Definitely not the target that you want to focus on right now. Also, I see Necrophos going into Eon Disc. Disc is fine against Lion, can be dispelled by Tornado.
They need to be careful about how they take this now for T1. They're up 3K, but honestly, the game just feels even, or maybe even sided towards Boom with everything they've got at the moment.
Smoke from Boom. Warlock ulti ready in a couple of seconds.
Treemacell leading the charge. You'd expect that T1 kind of recognize that if he's frontlining like that, he's probably got a team with him, especially through mid. Cuckoo gets spotted. Link Hex, Earth Spike, wait for him on the back lines, and he gets the kill immediately on a high, but they'll take out Cuckoo. Cuckoo's going to buy back Solo High. They've got the Timber Chain around with the BKBB pop by 23. He's starting to back off the spike, though. So now, Timber Chain forward, FBZ with the Whirling Death onto Zephyr. The right click's coming out of the Spectre from Carl. It's not doing enough damage. They finally finish off Zephyr. They go after Carl. The Timber Chain as well as the Whirling Death once again with the BKBB pop, as well as the Laguna going out onto the Timber. They'll pop the cheese. They'll stay healthy on Dreamacell.
Oh, they get Cuckoo, that's big.
Spike lands, but that actually gets hide, available to be killed off by 23. They have the Earth Spike that gets reflected via the Lotus Orb, and now Makoto, he's gone to 23. 2 FBZ drops, triple kill for 23. They go after White Mom, but they've got the stun on the Spectre. There's the break. Dreamacell starting to run, adaptive strike, right clicks in. They've gotten first life out of his hands, and he's got no health.
They also have the sight, so they can take him down for a very long time. Stun connects.
Break again, Reaper sight through, and he is killed for 2 minutes. It looks so good for Boom, and then all of a sudden, 23 goes to the back lines, all off the reflection of the Earth Spike, and he turns it around, taking out these 3 heroes on Boom.
What a fight from T1. They managed buyback on a Necrophos, like he instantly uses it. Also, Lion bought back in the previous fight, so that's a dieback on him. Boom needs to protect their backlines. Like, Morphling understands, great understanding of the game, like what Savage needs to do. He jumps the backlines, takes out the Lion. Also, there was a good reflection, as you mentioned, with that Lotus Orb on the Lion's Earth Spike. We're going to see that again. Spectre, like playing on half HP, Morphling with his build is super tanky, has a BKB, has Satanic. Satanic is a lot of damage. It's a 55 damage, it's also a Dispel, it lasts for 6 seconds, undispellable. So even if you have like a Spirit Vessel on you, you pop that, you Dispel it, and then you lifesteal. So new Satanic feels really good.
Butterfly picked up for the Morphling. Getting delivered right now. And they're really willing to concede 2 sets of racks. Looks like it. Oh, Kescute is in trouble for a second.
Yeah, Spectre, she's gonna respawn in game number 3, it seems.
The fights are so close that I would say even with this lead, I'm not sure that T1 have it in the bag. The fight started with Cuckoo getting blown up. He doesn't have buyback on that one. I think obviously the fight changes.
Needs to be careful. I believe he bought the full Eon disc. Yeah, okay, so he will be able to get his items off, most likely. The Lotus, Yule Scepter, possibly even a mech. Daedalus down on Lina. Like, Lina right clicks are so hard. Huge, and she hits level 25, 150 attack range on top of that.
Penta-edge sword and a leveler. Man, the tier 4s for T1 are perfect so far. Just the Spell Prism right now for Boom.
Lina was thinking about getting a different neutral item, but holding the Paladin sword has a Morbid Mask. She'll also go into Satanic to have like this double life, the life leech against Spectre, against the Timbersaw. You can just stand your ground and take a fight. Invoker with this type of a build, like, where's damage coming from? You know, he has 3 meteors, which is okay. Your spells are almost maxed out, but then again, you don't really have the right clicks.
Warlock, it's only level 14.
Haste.
Love to see him have max out on the upheaval. On the
You sounded really disappointing there, like Warlock is
yeah, I know. It's just
14.
We haven't really felt his presence as much. The chaotic offerings haven't been massive.
Yeah, there hasn't been that one. Wow, this rock really split the fight. They won because of it.
Yeah.
No good upheavals. Like, he still deals damage to the Shadow Word. Timeless Relic. Okay, so let's see which one Invoker decides to keep. Timeless Relic also really good on Lion. Good on Warlock. Like, even Timbersaw, he's holding into Cloak of Flames right now.
He's going Hex next.
Flamethrower. Where's the Flamethrower?
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. I really want to see that shard. Roche up pretty soon. It's going to be Aegis Cheese, potentially an Ag's Blessing, maybe a Shard. Which Shard could be pretty big here for both teams, really. Double Reaper Scythe, double Laguna.
Lina doesn't rely so much on dealing the damage with Laguna. It's more about the right clicks.
Yeah.
I think he would give it to possibly Necro, because he wants to
chain all the way through, force to pop the BKB. Not entirely worth it.
Spectre, of course, finds Illusion Escape, because that's just how it is. If you have Spectre, if you have Phantom Lancer, I think there's a code in the game. Someone from Valve coded it and said, like, yeah, it has to be 100% drop rate.
Always feels good, too, when you get the perfect item for your hero. Illusion Escape being the one here for Spectre. They see that with the ward, T1 will start to back off. Roche, 37 seconds away. FBZ, he doesn't have a BKB for 25 seconds. I want to be a little bit more careful than where he's standing forward on. Dreamcell trying to finish off that Abyssal too.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Still a little ways out from it. Roche up now in 5 seconds. We saw in the last Roche, it was a hook shot attempt to try and steal everything, but everything was picked up by the Spectre.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Lion still holding on to Philly, swapping things in and out. It feels like there's going to be a fight. Swaps in the Timeless Relic, longer duration Hex, longer duration stun. Needs to be careful.
Trying to get him. C23, that's where the attention is. Ooh, hookshot was blocked by Cuckoo. He tried to move in with it. They go on a Kesku. They get the kill immediately onto the Warlock, who doesn't have buyback. EMP plays down. They've also got the Hex out on a 23. Not taking out all of his mana, but half of it. No Warlock, and I mean, that means Team 1 could go in a rush. They got a double damage on Carl, too, so this is going to be a really quick one.
They can't contest it. It's Refresher. Let's see who decides to pick it up. Like Morphling's running out of slots, he could be the one holding it. Refresher's still in the pit. Lina picks it up in the end. Just a double BKB feels really good.
They have the Hex on Invoker. And Abyssal.
Radiant's top tower
Let's see
is
if
under
he can pick it
attack.
up. Do you buy out if you're Spectre here just the Abyssal? You're behind by so much?
Radiant's top tower has fallen.
Good question. I think you go all in. I think if you buy back, the fight's kind of already over. So with the Abyssal Blade, I feel like you can do so much more.
Right.
And you might get the gold in the fight to be able to have a buyback. He needs 800, so if he gets like 2 kills, potentially it's a buyback.
They're coming over. 4-staff blink. Hook stop misses. FBZ. They'll survive. A lot of damage out on a Zephyr. And now, 23's in a little bit too deep. They've got the Abyssal Blade. They'll use the Chaotic Offering. They've got the control to get the kill onto the Morphling. He's dead. Has
No
Aegis.
shift.
They're going to move in, though.
How can they stun him? They can't.
They can't. BKB. Ooh,
But the
Kesku
bash is
invis,
where the
and
bash is
now-
at.
Oh, they've got the bash. 23's in trouble. Wait for him to try and leave. Morphs into the Timber Saw. Timber Chain away, but that's going to be FBZ staying with him. Gets hit by the stun. Now the Haunt is used.
lot
They're
of
doing a lot of
confusion.
damage on
Hex.
FBZ. They've got themselves a Chaos Meteor down. But it doesn't look like enough to kill off 23 just yet. They look over at Carl, who pops the BKB. He's going to be dead first on the side of T1. They take it on the Aegis. He does come back in 100 seconds. He has buyback. Wait for him away once again. Whitemon trying to run with batteries on as they look over at Hugo, who uses that Shroud. Trying to get out of here.
Scouting things
Makoto
out,
with him.
slowing them down.
Ghostwalk slows him up. They find themselves the Centaur. They've got themselves the Hex, as well as the Earth Spike, Timber Chain, Whirling Death coming through, as well as the EMP, the Spectral Dagger. They get the kill onto Zephyr. They'll take out 2. No buybacks used, but they've also got the Aegis out of the hands of T1.
Oh, man, what a throw by 23. He goes in, tries to take out Warlock. Now he's receiving the tips.
From his own team.
Yeah,
That wasn't too.
that wasn't too bright. All right. Yeah, like he tries to kill the Warlock in this situation. Like you don't know if Warlock has buyback. At the moment, he does.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
So, yeah, not really worth it. He thought he couldn't die. He could have potentially died a second time if Lion was close to use any of his abilities, like land an Earth Spike while you're respawning with Aegis. So, yeah.
Dire's middle tower
They're going to try and
has
force
fallen.
these buybacks, but they're up 2 sets of racks. I don't know if they need to. They've got the waveform now into the cogs. Waveform again, but the Abyss Blade goes through onto 23. So he stopped for a second with that BKB running out. Spectral Dagger with the Hex. That's going to be reflected. Lotus Orb doing some work here. EMP is down, and that is right on top of 23, but they'll glip. They've got these heroes coming back with buyback, so they haven't expended any, and they hold the tier 3. Boom. They back away.
There's no need to rush things, like they didn't force any of the buybacks. Spectre getting closer to level 25, so that's going to be a big one. Working towards MKB, not the item that you want to see on Spectre. But yeah, in this situation, you need to get it. Morphling has that butterfly for a very long time, so you need to be able to pierce through it. Eon Disc done on Invoker.
Radiant
Also
are
getting
scattered.
closer to his level 25.
Is he going to lock it, or is he just going to use it or put it together immediately?
He can be blown, like, depends. In certain situations, you might get blown up. But we'll see.
All right, he puts it together.
Yeah, it's safer. You know, at this point of the game, 45 minutes in, it's just better to leave it this way.
Right. So a long ways until the next Roche. But I don't know if we're going to be waiting that long for the next fight. Cuckoo, he's close to 25. Still no shard on FBZ. Still wants that Hex. They already have one on the, you know, ingrained in the Lion and Hex picked up by the Invoker. They want the constant Hexes out.
It's a possibility that they use Hex into Hex into Hex and then back into Hex, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So cooldown with
Wait, post stop waveform going in on FBZ. Do they have the damage? Shadow Word healed, not looking like it, but they played aggressive.
because Lion Hex is 4 seconds plus debuff duration, extra 25, so that's a 5-second Hex.
They're moving in. They want to go for this. They've got the Chaotic offering down. They'll look over at the Centaur. They get the kill to execute, so he's going to be taken out of the fight and buyback immediately. They go to the Stampede. They're trying to keep alive Zephyr, who's running away from FBZ. Tornado comes through on the Hex target. That's the
misses.
playing 23, though. He gets the BKB off. Waveform over to the side. Reaper side! Oh, Dream is so... You're all
135. Like, they just split the fight. Once again, Savage goes in and takes out the Warlock immediately. Like, buys back. So Spectre will need to buy back here. They cannot hold this without Spectre. Like, the sooner you buy back, the better. But you can't still get anything out of it. Like, you can't go Roshan. You're just going to lose the barracks if you don't buy back.
There's the buyback. Tornado comes in. They're going to try and go for this once again. They know that he doesn't have the BKB. They have the Spectral Dagger. They're going to force that from into the base. They have the Hex. They have the Abyssal. Do they have the damage to get the kill? On the 23, the Radio Deafening Blast.
Another
As
Hex.
well as the damage. The
Perma
Hexes are there. He's got the man to the waveform. Oh!
That was so close. Like, they needed to get that kill.
They look over at Whitemon with such anger because his name is in 23.
They got Whitemon. They got something, but they needed to get a bigger kill. Like, they needed to kill him there. It's a rough one, you know. Maybe they overlap the Hexes a little bit because they have 2 right now. Alliance Hex lasts for 5 seconds. We're going to see that one again. Unfortunately for them, he got the shift off.
Oh. Tornado's in. EMP. And
in a good force. Strike. Like, they used the Force Staff to push him in.
Abyssal. Radio Deafening Blast. The Hex. Oh! The Force Staff. That's what saved him.
Sometimes it's all it takes. They have 2 Force Staffs, 1 Clockwork, 1 on the Centaur.
Always buy your support items.
Spectre holding onto Gem right now. No, she's running out of items. Like, she needs to be able to give that gem to someone else and just buy out the items, buy that Demon Edge. Have the MKB still, not that close to it. Dire, they're using a scan, but they only found the illusion inside the pit.
There's a double damage top. Timely. 49 minutes in.
23, he does not have Boots of Speed, holding on to Spell Prism, holding on to Leveler, holding on to Ninja Gear. He's just swapping all the items. A lot of status resistance from Sanjiasha could make a difference, so I'm not surprised he decided to go that as like 6th item.
Roche not up yet. Minimum respawn time about to
just getting the maximum, getting the maximum volume out of the neutral items. Like for the fight, Spell Prism is good, lowering the cooldowns. He can also smoke himself and be able to find one of the supports, ideally Warlock, because he does not have buyback at the moment. And if they go for the high ground push, if they go for the buildings, use the Leveler.
So, Spectre picks up the double damage. Roche is a long one. That's unfortunate for Boom, who are right there and ready to go with the double damage.
23 smokes himself. Smoke popped. He's also holding a casual Titan Sliver. You know, maybe I need a bit more status resistance. If I get initiated on, try to swap it in. Could make the difference.
Buys the Tome 2, FBZ. Zephyr right there. Pops the Minotaur horn. You can see Zephyr wants to make a move here. He wants to be the one who leads with the Blink as well as the Hoof Stomp. Potentially the Stampede right off the bat. And Zephyr, you just see him. Like, he's locking eyes with FBZ. Oh, going for the blink as well as the hoof stomp. He gets hexed immediately. That's by Makoto. Now he's got the Lotus Orb as well as the Stampede is right on top of this Invoker, but he pops the BKB, the waveform onto the backline. They've got the Chaotic offering that hits out of 23. He's also hexed up with the Meteor coming down, the Deafening Blast. It's all there.
No
Sunstrike
shit.
Finger. There's the kill on the 23, but they've got the buyback, so he's going to have to find his way back into the fight. He's TPing over to the outpost that's on the lower part of the map, so he's away from the team for quite a long time. That gives the opportunity to boot the goal in here. They've got the Hex as well as the Chakra right on top of the Lina. There's the first fight that gets the stun. They get the kill on the Carl. They'll take out Zephyr. Zephyr doesn't have buyback, but Lina does. They both buy back on both the Clockwork as well as the Lina. They look over at Cuckoo. They've got the Cold Snap. They're doing a lot of damage here, but the Reaper Sight not going to do enough damage on the FBC. They'll take out Cuckoo. He's going to buy back. They've got
Savage,
the stun.
no
Can they get the
shift
kill on the
again?
23? He's got no shift. The Chaos Meteor's down with the BKB. He will heal back up, and they'll take out Makoto. They'll look over at Kescute. Kescute doesn't have buyback, but Makoto does. He holds it for now. Now finally uses it as the line used it as well, but FBZ on the front lines with the Laguna Blade hitting it, and the Silver Edge there to break him. They take out the Timber. No buyback on him.
Oh man, what a fight. If they somehow manage to lock him down there and kill him one more time, now he used the buyback, and
He's gonna have Aegis.
I think it would be a different fight if they took the outpost on the bottom, because he would have nothing to TP to. Radiant is controlling the northern outpost, so can't TP there. He had no boots. He put the what's it called, the one that smokes you item.
Ninja Gear.
Ninja Gear, yeah, to get some extra movement speed out of it, get closer to the fight. But if they control the bottom outpost, I think this fight is completely different. He doesn't show up, Necro dies, possibly Invoker lives there without having to use the buyback.
Necro is holding on to the Ag's Blessing. Hasn't used it yet. You've also got Refresher on Carl. Picks up a Wind Waker. That's another way to save 23 again. A hook shot from Whitemon.
Radiant's top barracks are
Himself
under
just able to use that Spectral Dagger to weave his way out of that one.
This Wind Waker is big. Like, they initiate on Morphling, who has
Radiant's top
Aegis. This is Mega Creeps. So we'll see. You know, if they get a good initiation, you can always save him with that Wind Waker. And now
He's got 2 lives. Before, he was dealing with the fact that he had just bought back the Moon Shard. He's also devoured that. They'll go to the Glyph, the tier 4s.
Radiant's middle tower.
Trying to hold on, and now they've got all 5 heroes. The upheaval slowing down 23. He's trying to run Spectral Dagger as well as the Hex. That's going to be bounced back thanks to the Lotus Orb. They've got the Chakram right on top of 23. He'll waveform away.
overlapping their abilities. There's a Hex plus a Tornado.
And disc for Kescute. Doesn't have that Chaotic offering yet. Now it's up. Bloodthorn for Makoto.
This is one way to, you know, if someone is isolated with the Bloodthorn, 2 or 3 heroes focuses, whoever, like the hero is gonna die. Maybe like a Nullifier also would not be a bad idea on one of the heroes to just be able to proc those Eon Discs, remove it, dispel it, deal with the Ghost Shroud. I wouldn't mind seeing that. Because they have 1, 2 of those. They have a Ghost Shroud on top of that. Like, you can dispel the Wind Waker. I think Spectre should change her mind and sell the Power Treads. Possibly get that Dispel mechanic buyback in 45 seconds.
23 moving up. Leveler, Ninja Gear, BKB on the backpack, holding onto the Titan Sliver. Chakram right on top of 23. The Lotus Orb preemptively. Upheaval slowing him down. It's hard to make a move. You see how close the Lina is. The Wind Waker is going to be ready to go. They have to try and find a jump. Spectral Dagger thrown all the way onto Kescute. He's been the focus. They don't want to allow him to get that Chaotic offering off. Minotaur Horn, damage out on FBZ. He's starting to feel it. Moves back into the Spectre. Makoto coming over.
Mega creeps coming in.
The Mega creeps start to invade the base. They've got themselves the Earth Spike. That's actually going to stun up the Timbersaw. They've got the Chaos Meteor down. They'll use the Haunt. They've got the Reaper Sight coming through. That's only going to hit on the FBZ. That doesn't do enough damage to this Timber, who's used that BKB. But you look over at Hyde. Hyde already gone for 100 seconds with the right clicks coming out for 23. It's just not enough here for the side of Boom. They lose the Timbersaw. He'll buy back immediately. It's a 4v5 with the Mega creeps invading the base. They look over at 23. FBZ in his face. Waveform onto the back line with BKB caught by Makoto. He's trying to survive here. 23's been hexed up. The LSA's missed. They've got the break onto the Spectre, but look at the creeps taking the base, and they have no way to stop them. The creeps are going to overwhelm them. They may be putting their focus on a 23, but they need to stop these creeps. They need to stop Alina, really, who's going to finish off the game, and T1 will make the series even at 1 on what was a close back and forth between both these teams.
Yeah, a couple of mistakes, you know, very entertaining game.
Yeah.
Like sometimes they, like, you've seen it so many times on 23 Savage, they use the hex, 4-step comes in, like they just needed, they needed like half a second, maybe a second of extra lockdown to be able to deal with that. And I think that outpost kind of changes the whole game, because if Necro dies there, they could potentially, you know, live on a couple of heroes, deal with him who doesn't have boots. It's a very entertaining game, couple of throws as well, but yeah, some good old Southeast Asian Dota.
Yeah, some good SEA Dota. It comes down to probably maybe 100 health. That gives you know, the 1-1 split so far. So we're going to a game 3 to break down game number 2. We've got the panel. Throw it back over to you guys.
A nail biter all around, but 23 Savage on that morphling, despite having some morphing into Agi moments that really amped up the tension. They're able to win it in the end. Cuckoo and all of T1 end up supporting that morphling quite well and bring a 1-1 series state.
Yeah, Post-Roshan Centaur winning.
That's right.
Great.
Cuckoo actually has, after his nickname, he has the Master.
I enjoyed his interview.
Yeah, after the interview, I think he added it. A pretty solid performance by T1 overall. They managed to take this win. It's still not great. You can still see them struggling a little bit in the mid game. Still, there are some throws happening, but overall, they managed to squeeze a victory out of Boom, and they really needed this. T1, I mean, they're as strong of an organization as Boom, but they haven't really been performing so far, right?
I mean, T1 as an organization is probably one of the
strongest ones.
bigger ones.
Yeah, I mean,
biggest
in
ones
Dota,
globally.
they're not very well known, but T1 globally.
Overall, yeah, of course.
Like
They're
a
a
League
powerhouse.
and then like Valorant, whatever they play.
Yeah.
Definitely Dota did not live up to that name just yet. But, you know, baby steps. That win was better Dota than they have shown in the last week, at least.
Yeah.
So that's something. But they still have quite a bit of work to do.
But definitely encouraging, and this is off of some comfort, which we were kind of saying the Morphling into Spectre matchup is a little bit peculiar, but it's a comfort hero for 23 Savage.
It's probably his best hero.
I would say so as well. And so he definitely showed the prowess, knowing his limits, occasionally getting fingered on occasion.
Occasionally, he had some edgy moments, morphing into edgy.
But he lived every single time, though.
Yeah, exactly. Unless that time he died.
That time he died, but I don't think that was
died.
an Agi-morph moment.
Yeah, it was.
It was.
Oh, it was?
There was
Okay.
a double Agimorph moment.
Oh, well.
Yeah, but overall, there are these players that play the hero to such a great extent that it doesn't matter if they're playing into counters. They will still find ways of making the hero work.
This one was the one where it was so close.
Nail biter, pretty much.
But then the Satanic comes out.
Yeah. What an item.
What an item. Especially on a Morphling. How'd you feel about Spectre Warlock? I feel like Kezcute had a little bit of unfamiliarity on Warlock. There were occasions where he'd be channeling Upheaval and then just get shotgunned in the face by Morphling, and he's like, okay, I'm going to stand a little bit further back this time.
Yeah, he had a couple of peculiar, interesting moments, as we like to call them.
Yeah.
But overall, yeah, you can't really ask too much. Drop the golden Fatal Bond, people shadow word everything around you, and that's it. It's not a complicated hero to play. Meanwhile, Spectre might have had a couple of pretty unnecessary deaths. And Boom was a little bit unfortunate throughout the game. Like Invoker getting LSA'd together with the Lion on the bottom lane
right.
when Lina is going in for the kill. Like if Invoker is just a little bit further away, they turn on the Lina there, they kill her. But I think the hero that we haven't talked about is Cuckoo's Necro. And he's been doing quite a lot this game. Because it's not even the amount of damage or the heal or utility that he brings to the table is the fact that you're afraid to fight after you drop to 50%. Like that Spectre, you could see him. Rimosal, he drops to 50%, he's out of there. He can't fight any longer.
Potentially some item choices could have helped with that. Like I would have loved to see what's it called? Wind Waker is super good against Necro.
Who would have bought it though?
I mean, it could have been an Invoker, could have been...
Yeah.
I mean, like, it's obviously an investment you do quite early, and then you think about it late into the game, right? But in this late game scenario, I think it could have really helped your team win. Maybe even a hard on Spectre, just to kind of counteract that balance of being at 50%.
Yeah, T1 actually went for the Wind Waker. They
Yeah,
had
Lina
it
got
on
the
the
Wind Waker.
They had it on the Lina.
I think in late game, it's almost always a necessity. Like that Wind Waker could have potentially, if he had it one fight earlier, saved the Morphling there, and he doesn't die, gets BKB Satanic off. I think it's a super good item that people are not buying enough, especially in this like minute 40, 50 games.
They're not coming out enough, but I think that's because a lot of people are more willing to build Aeon discs than ever before. Like usually it was just supports that would build Aeon discs.
It's really about the Aeon disc and about the gold that you have to actually invest in a Wind Waker.
How much is it? 8K, right?
7.7, is it? Or is
Yeah,
it
it's
It's
the
really
most expensive
pricey.
item that isn't Dagon 5. So it's quite an investment.
Well, not for me, but
Right, you know, that's just 2 minutes of GPM.
yeah,
Because you have 3,500 GPM per minute.
easily.
Well, someone who got close to that kind of GPM was 23 Savage on his Morphling,
Let's
who is
see.
the MVP.
Not bad.
828.
800. Yeah.
That's pretty good for a long
just
game like that.
Gotta go 4 times as much, and then he will reach my greatness.
Yeah, those bars are pretty filled up
Yeah.
on everything from GPM, lasted skills.
Oh wait, Lizard, he wasn't here last season.
Hmm.
All the 100% bars are all based upon my performance. So that's
you
why.
set the benchmark.
Yeah, that's why usually you don't see them.
I see.
Yeah, but in this game he did perform quite well. You know, he did his job. You can tell why Morphling is one of his best heroes. Like, he played the lane super well against Timber.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah.
It
Just
was.
those Agimorph moments were maybe a little bit hard.
Yeah,
pounded.
at the
It
very
happens. It happens. You know, at the very end. The thing is,
the
like,
last 2 deaths were like, ugh.
exactly. If you do those moments early on, it's like whatever. It happens, right? But when you do them in a crucial moment, such as that one, so hear me out. He did it the first time, so they think that they can get him the second time.
yeah,
It's
I'm
the
with
next
you.
level bait.
Then he did it again the second time, but he knew that he had a 4 staff. He was like,
Exactly.
Yeah. And he knew the Satanic would
And
come
the
off.
LSA
The
will be
LSA
there.
would land. It's a team game that we're playing here.
Yeah.
And these two teams need to resolve who will get the 2-1 victory. So we're going to hop over to a quick break. And when we come back, the conclusion of Boom versus T1.
change of range.
Boom versus T1 Game 3 coming up soon. And I don't know about you guys, but I'm ready to start trusting T1 again. That was the kind of game that inspired, yes, they know how to play as a team. 23 Savage, he knows how to carry this game. Carl, he's a beast on these kind of non-meta mid lane picks. Because all the other games in the previous, all of T1 series have been like, even if they have a better draft, I'm not going to go with them. Not until they can convince me that they know how to play together as a team.
Wait, that scrambly game convinced you?
So position 4 Centaur convinced you, Tsunami? That's what
they
you were
won.
waiting for?
They won.
I mean, sometimes
What were the
it's a start.
shortcomings?
Let's put it
You
this
tell me, what were the shortcomings for T1 that game?
Let's put it this way. It's a start. You need to start from somewhere. They managed to scrape it off and win a game off of a position 4 Centaur and position 3 Necro. But it was still very, very sloppy. They had moments in which they definitely could have lost that game. And keep in mind that they were constantly in the lead. I don't think the net worth graph ever went
I think you're right,
to Boom's favor in that last game. And it still never felt like they were completely in control. It was pretty much clutching it. I still believe that T1 is a great team and that they can take the series off of Boom and every other powerhouses in the SCA, but they still haven't proven that to us. At least not in this season.
And as for Warlock Spectre, do you think that that's a proven duo quite yet? Because in other regions it is. Here, may need some more time in the oven, I think.
I mean, it is, but when it was drafted, it wasn't even like the greatest Spectre pick. Yep. So, like, maybe when I mix it up a bit, but I think a lot of other carries that paired well with Warlock were already banned. But, you know, they instant picked it. They didn't even think.
Yeah.
Like, they didn't really take any time. Like,
It
even
did
the
feel
time
like
that
they forced it.
Yeah. Which, you know, like if you think 30, 40 seconds, okay, there's nothing better, you can pick it, but I'm sure they would have come up with something better in the end. But it didn't.
Well, we got a game 3 to decide if they can come up with anything better. Beastmaster first phase banned out. Io first phase banned out along with FBZ's Timbersaw. And boom, got to ban out that 4-position Centaur.
But
Too
the
good.
puck went through, right? So this is a
Puck
hero
went
that was really highly contested, picked or banned, so...
I think that's their response to the Centaur, right? The Timber. So as soon as that's banned, they ban the Centaur in response.
And you can't really open up with a life stealer in the first stage because of that.
Phoenix is also available. Phoenix was previously first phase banned out as well, and they go for the puck.
Man, how much more do they have to nerf this hero so it doesn't get picked first?
I think, what were the 7.29 changes to puck?
Silence longer, coil damage lower.
The illusory orb talent, speed, and distance
reduced,
got reduced or changed?
Changed. Now it's cooldown reduction.
That's right.
Which is actually not half bad.
Yeah, it's a pretty good trade for a puck.
Like the hero, he just got nerfed a little bit in the early game until level 10. After level 10, it's still the same guy.
You have BKB piercing AoE stun.
Or at phase shift got
with the
nerfed a little bit.
Oh yeah, that was the biggest nerf.
Yeah.
Phase shift cooldown.
Why 1.5 seconds or 1?
Yeah.
But again, once that's max, it's the same hero. They just wanted to make sure he's not as annoying in the early game. He's still really annoying in the early game.
He's still really, really annoying. And you have so many different builds that you can still go for. The Witchblade, the Blink.
Yeah.
It doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
You go with the Tiny.
Hope it's a core Tiny. We are not convinced with 4-position Tinies in this region. They have been doing quite poorly.
I mean, even Tiny, when he's picked, wants to be a core Tiny. Because he already skilled tree grab.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, it's his choice. Who are we to take that tree
You're
away
not
from?
wrong.
So every time you're actually putting Tiny in a position 4,
You're cruel.
You're cruel. You're taking that tree that he worked
He
so
loves
hard
that
to pick
tree.
it up. It's his
He's
personal.
hugging it
Like,
from the beginning.
He's hugging it, and you're taking it away from it.
Yeah. How dare you do that? Oh, my Dreamer Cell looks done. He's like, ugh.
It was a rough Spectre game for him.
Yeah,
Right.
I got Reapered again.
I mean, he probably fell asleep in all the Reaper death
Oh,
timers.
yeah, he's on, and he was definitely out of there.
Yeah,
He was like one of the Reaper sites held him for 120, the other for 135.
And
You're
then
literally not playing the game at this point.
I mean, at the end he didn't die, but if he got killed by Reaper again, it would have been almost 3 minutes.
It's true.
Okay, on one side we have the Puck and Tusk combination, on the other Snapfire and Tiny.
What do we like better? Of course, Puck-Tusk combination.
Yeah.
Because Coil is a great spell in Dota. I would love to have it around forever.
I pretty much like the Snap. I enjoy the... I'm a Snapfire enjoyer at the moment.
Wow.
Some Blightstone, some minus armor coming from her, combo it with something like Tide on the offlane.
Yeah, you couple it up with a Tiny, on
Yeah.
some juicy buildings.
On some juicy buildings that
forward
are going to disappear very, very fast to that Snapfire.
You know, I'm disappointed that we don't see Slardar paired up more with Snapfire. I feel like the Bash, once you get all the Shredder stacks, will completely
is really
destroy
strong.
somebody.
It's pretty popular in Europe, especially. Like Liquid loves to play that.
Oh, okay.
And it's a really strong lane. Like
Yeah.
you have so many, you have 3 stuns that are pretty much guaranteed.
But what Lizard? Slaughter is still risky here.
Yeah. It still has some difficult lanes to go into, like Troll and whatnot. But
Imagine you play Snapfire Slaughter into like a Drow Ranger. Give me another good hero. A good range hero.
Troll?
No, the
You
support.
mean a carry and a support?
Yeah.
Drow and
Lich?
Lich.
Just spam it?
Imagine you're Slaughter in that lane. What do you want to do? You want to leave that lane
You do want to leave that lane.
right away.
I mean, it doesn't even have to be too ranged, right? Like
Yeah, even the Troll or
Drow
whatever.
plus whatever.
Undying.
Yeah, Drow
Oof.
plus Undying was my go-to.
Dirty Undying pickers.
Yeah.
Did I hate people that pick when I'm forced to play offlane, right? I often have to pick in the first phase, and then they just counter me with an Undying because they don't pick in the first phase.
You just creep skip. You don't fight
Yeah,
them.
good luck with doing that.
That's what I do, at least. If there's an Undying and I'm on some strength melee, just creep
Leave.
skip. Leave.
Yeah, you try that, but then the Undying with boots follows you.
I mean,
Doing
there's
the moonwalk the entire
It's
time.
so
there's
annoying.
definitely a certain type of person that you have to be to pick heroes such as Undying. You're already playing position 5, and then you're giving yourself like a pretty boring hero to play, right?
And on
Undying's
top of
not
that, you
that
counter
boring.
the offlane. That's unhonorable. It's not something you do. It's like last pick in the carry to counter the offlane. It's no honor involved.
Nah, he's not that boring. I agree, but he's not that super interesting as well.
Who's
Like
the most super interesting 5 position?
for me?
Yeah.
I either play 5s that can scale into cores in pubs,
Okay.
or I play 5s with some amazing ultimates that are fun to like big ultis.
Like
So
what?
A Phoenix, and when it comes to scaling into cores, Elder Titan, Bounty.
Okay.
And that's the go-to because you're always gonna have fun in the game.
What about post 5 Axe?
Oh, sure, why not? Post 5, Phantom Assassin.
That used to be a thing.
It used to be.
And then they
pos-
nerfed
was actually
dagger
really
range.
strong.
yeah,
Yeah.
it was so good.
You could dagger from 1200 range. It was
Didn't it
insane.
also slow for 4 seconds level
Yep.
1?
Yeah, and
It was
it applied
obnoxious.
whatever.
Yeah, so if you got an Orb of Venom, it was...
Orb of Venom, Blightstone,
I mean, it
PA
still does
running
that,
around.
right?
It
Yeah.
does, but they nerfed
what
the
they
range.
did, yeah, like by half.
Yeah.
At the slow duration. But like 70% or something.
But now you can always play Ricky and just take that sleeping dart and sleep
true.
people.
Or you don't. Because it's super annoying and you don't want to annoy anyone. Because
No.
what comes around, or what goes around comes around, whatever the saying is.
It's true.
You sleep people with a dart, next game you're going to be the one getting slapped.
Or you just pick Ricky all the time and you're the one sleeping people.
That's true.
You can do that.
I've been watching Cinderin stream, and that is his go-to right now.
Is
It's
it?
4-position Ricky.
Yeah.
I
What does he
watched
build?
him too.
What does he build like?
He gets Meteor Hammer, or in lane he gets Orb of Venom, then he gets Meteor Hammer at like 15 minutes, and then on the 20-minute mark, exactly Sleeping Dart every time.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
That was
the most
that
broken
was
shot in the
what
game,
I thought
probably.
as well.
Mhm.
I played one Ricky game with Sleeping Dart. I went exactly the same thing
It's deadly.
That's not what I saw when I watched the stream. I saw him go 0-7 that day.
with Ricky.
Ricky and Patch, I think he played.
It's hit or miss.
Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't.
And I don't mean in that game. I mean overall he went 0-7.
Okay.
There was a rough MMR day. Yeah.
A lot of red. Phoenix gets picked up, formerly first phase banned in game 1 and 2, and now in second phase pick.
A lot of magic damage. I like actually Tiny with the Phoenix as well, as you always have some control for that egg. AoE stuns are nice. And they go with an Enchantress.
Yeah. Decent hero.
Yeah.
Not the greatest against Phoenix necessarily, but
Snap as
it's
well.
still a lane winner.
Yeah.
I think I want to teach you guys something about SEA/China culture.
I'm listening.
Okay, so when you lose a lot of games in a row, it's all red, right? So we call that Chinese New Year. During Chinese New
the
Year,
red envelopes.
yeah, and you have to. You don't have to, but it's very common that you buy like new clothes and they're all in red.
Okay.
And then we make that meme that you're having a Chinese New Year when you lose
I
a lot.
see. What happens for a very positive day, a green day?
I don't know actually.
You've
if
never
they have
had one?
anything. No, I don't have any. My longest loss streak actually in Dota was 21 losses in a row.
Oh my god.
I had like 20 as well.
Yeah,
Something
that
similar.
was a rough period. The game might or might not have gotten uninstalled a couple of times during that time. You reinstall
I don't
it,
blame
another
you.
5 losses.
Uninstall again. Take a break.
Dude, that first win after the 22nd game must have felt
That's pretty much when he went home and became a family man.
I was done. I did a guile move.
You did the
You
guile
did the
move.
guile, exactly. Okay, so we have the Enchantress, but why Enchantress? It's strong, it's a lane dominator, I agree, but it isn't this hero that, oh yeah, they have Darks here, we'll pick Enchantress, or this is what we're going to dispel. But they are...
Viper.
Okay, this is your
Now there's a
offlane.
reason for this pick.
It's your offlane Viper with Tusk, you're playing versus Bristleback. There is a reason why you
Might be
picked it.
carry Tiny, which Viper is pretty decent against too.
Yeah.
But I feel like in this mid game, they, with all their minus armor, they can blow him up quite easily.
They can, but Boom is... So it should be mid-tiny, right? And this Bristol, do you relegate it to offlane right
It
now?
could be mid Tiny, offlane Bristol, and they pick a hero that lanes really well against Viper.
Exactly, yeah, that's my idea
Because mid
too.
Tiny is pretty good against Puck.
The problem is, though, what lanes well into Viper and Tusk? That looks like a really difficult lane to
Razor.
for anything.
Nah. Viper deals too much magic damage.
It's...
Someone with a blink.
I thought Drow Ranger, but they actually
They
banned
banned it, yeah. They banned it out.
Wait, wouldn't you just get snowballed on?
And Sharded.
Yeah.
Like you
But
would
the thing
die.
is, Viper always pushes the lane in, right?
Only if you're nether toxining.
Yeah, but everybody does.
I feel like it's really difficult to find the right carry to play into that lane.
How about
Troll.
Broodmother? Just
Man,
sustain
Broodmother,
yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Where's that hero been at?
We have seen one Brood.
We did see one. I don't remember if it won or not.
It did not win.
It did not win.
But
But
it almost won.
it looked good. It looked good, but it lost. Wind Ranger.
Is it even confirmed that it could be a mid Viper? Pretty flexible, still with Puck and Viper as well.
Yeah, but T1 definitely looking for a one position.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you think that it's... I guess Carl, like you can put that Viper mid as well. I just feel like Viper should be on the offlane with Tusk.
I like
Yeah.
Slark
For
for
both?
T1.
For T1?
Yeah.
Versus the Bristleback, it's pretty good.
It's good against the Egg, it's
Yeah.
good against Bristol.
As Morphling is banned out, I believe Morphling would be my go-to, but with him banned out, Slark also sounds good.
Yeah. What?
Are there any built-in BKBs, like Jug is still in the pool?
Jug
Maybe
is decent.
that's an option for them too.
Just against Bristol is a bit... Could be problematic in the lane, but other than that, it's pretty good.
Makes a good egg hitter.
He is a good egg hitter. And he always hits from the front with the Omni Slash.
No, he doesn't. He alternates sides.
Really?
Yeah, so if you're playing Mars, you can actually rotate back and forth, and you can get the block on each Omni Slash.
I'm pretty sure you just walk away, you get the block on every hit anyway.
It switches sides. He'll hit on the front side of you one time, and then if he keeps hitting you, he'll hit on the back side, and then it alternates.
Okay, did not know that.
You
Because
learn,
all I hear when I
learn
play
something every day.
when I play Mars, it's always ding 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 ding. when
So
he
if it's on the
was
side, then maybe he's hitting your side, and he's going back and forth
PA
on the sides.
PA.
Okay.
We
Fan
have-
of Knives would be sick this game against Bristleback.
I already have another Toxic.
Yeah,
You
that's
already
true.
have a break.
You didn't really need that, but
It's good damage still.
good damage, attack speed versus the Egg is nice.
Now, how do you round up your draft, sirs? Medusa. That's a good carry against Viper.
Where are they laning?
Safe lane Dusa.
Safe and Duza, yeah,
Okay.
with most likely Snap.
So
and
the
Tiny
thing,
mid.
how is this Dusa against PA matchup? Should be pretty Dusa favorite.
That's what I would think, especially with
Unless
the
you get
Aghanims.
crushed early on, right? And this PA isn't truly enabled by anything, isn't buffed by any of the teammates. Maybe a Solar Crest on Viper or Tusk.
Maybe Lacoste can help us.
Sure, we can bring in Lacoste, but not B-Cup.
I'm not going to talk about B-Cup.
Get out of the
I
camera,
was,
please.
you
Thank
know,
you. Lacoste, front and center.
I'll stand
There
in
we
the
go.
middle.
In the center,
Just
yeah.
do it.
I'll do it. Just give me 1 second to peek.
Damn it. We should have had B-Cup instead. B-Cup would have memorized
I'm
the
like
draft.
Phantom Assassin draft. Who I'm kind of on that train. I've seen position 4 tinies. This is a position 4 tiny game, isn't it?
No,
you're
it's
right.
mid.
It is.
Yeah,
no,
no,
it's
not a
Mikoto.
big
It's
fan.
Mikoto on
It's
tiny.
mid tiny.
Mid tiny.
Mid-tiny,
I'm gonna
yeah.
go with the boom down.
Just
Mid-
that easy.
Yeah, mid tiny. I like what mid tiny brings compared to position 4, and the Medusa against Phantom Assassin. You guys talked about how there's no steroids. Could potentially be like one of the Solar Crests on Tusk. We'll see what happens, but yeah. Also, I want to see what kind of Medusa items she's gonna get in this game. Like we've seen what Aghanims can do.
He's going to go Aghanims. I'm going to... I know
You
it's
can
leading
already
very
know.
out of the very far out of the window, but I think he's going to go Aghanims.
B-Cup, can you do any ventriloquism for that Courier over there and tell me what the Courier might predict for this game?
Yeah,
You don't need to do a voice.
We don't need to see you. You can just say it.
I feel like the Courier's moving
I'm
more
here
than
at the
B-Cup.
shop, and I'm just a courier. I don't really know what I'm doing. I get told to deliver items.
No one's at
Deliver
home.
predictions.
I like the snake lady. She's pretty cool.
Sounds so much like Morty.
You
man.
do bring the Snake Lady a lot of items. She is known to farm.
Yeah.
When I bring the Ags, the game is over.
I'll go Medusa as well. I think
The Snake Lady.
Supernova Stone Gaze is a good combo.
Yeah, Snake Lady as
Wait,
well.
let me talk for...
Nah, you go after me. Snack Lady as well.
I wanted to say the same thing, but you took it away from me, so I'm going Snake Lady too. I wanted to bring in the butt, you know?
I
Like this
see, I
PA
see.
could snowball
No.
butt Medusa.
I want
as
to
a-
bring in the casters. B-Cup, please come back. I need to see your face. Please, don't do this to me. There he is. All right, now we'll give him the full screen, and you
No,
can
he's done.
cast game number 3.
Cool. I'm excited. Game number 3 should be fun.
Should be.
Good prediction over there. Appreciate your predictions. He's always on time with my items. Really good. I like it.
Never dies.
No.
Doesn't feed gold.
Doesn't feed gold ever. Brings me tangos when I need salves. Gets it wrong.
My
all the time.
courier lately has been unreliable. That dude is just sitting there like I gave him the wrong address or something. You know,
Yeah.
he's just sitting there like, what up? No one's at home, sitting there until he gets killed. While I'm like, where are my items at?
Yeah, we just need, if you could just get a newspaper and just, where are my items? And just, it doesn't bring the right items to me.
No, for real. I think there's some kind of a bug with the courier lately where he just stops for no reason.
Or takes the worst pathing.
Oh, that's the classic one. You know, he's like those taxi drivers that are not.
Don't worry, I know a shortcut.
Yeah, and then he charges you triple of the price,
Somehow
takes you for
ended
a
in
ride.
New Jersey when you only need to go down 2 blocks.
You could actually walk, but didn't know how to use Google Maps. Yeah, happens. Happens. But yeah, let's check what's gonna happen in this one. Cuckoo will be playing this Viper. He's hiding on the top lane, so this is what they want to do. They want to run an aggressive trial lane with Phantom Assassin, Tusk, and Enchantress. This is strong. This is super strong. Anything with Tusk is extremely powerful. Add some extra damage from the Enchantress. Like, if she takes over the creep, it's very important if they decide to keep this tri lane and possibly like battle it out to block the big camp. Because if Enchantress gets a creep from the big camp, then you're in a lot of trouble.
So just sacrifice it, block the camp. Don't give Enchantress what he needs or what she needs. Mid tiny. We've seen some good tinies here and there. We've seen safe lane tiny, mid tiny. Those look okay. Then anything that's like 4 or 5.
Anything
feels
that's
pretty-
mid or safe lane tiny is a huge mistake.
So we'll see how Makoto does up against Carl on the puck. Last season, this is what we saw Carl really shine on, was the puck. So I'm interested to see how he plays this matchup. Makoto wants to go for. Sitting just 2-0 between the two of them. We'll go and look at the 3 lanes all at the same time.
A lot of aggression on Cuckoo, but he got his level 2. Will probably use the healing salve. Needs to be careful, you know, once they hit that level 2, could be a bit problematic. I expect Bristleback to get a point in Goo, and now they're just gonna swap things around, have this aggressive tri-lane against the safe lane tri-lane, which I think it's much stronger for T1. Tusk is, like, they also didn't block, so there is this Dark Troll Summoner. If someone asked me what his name was, I would be like Troll. The guy with the end snare, I actually wouldn't know.
Guy who uses net.
No, don't go that way. Mikoto in the mid lane has enough to buy a bottle. Actually, bottle already being delivered. Subscribe to Courier Prime. Delivers the item immediately. 5 extra move speed. 10% discount.
Delivers on weekends. And on holidays. Avalanche coming out, hits on the Carl a little bit. He'll use that phase shift to avoid some of it.
The reason why mid tiny is viable again is these water runes. Like, you rush the bottle, and now he's gonna be almost full HP. It only fills 2/3 of the bottle, but still, after you pop it, it's still HP, still mana, allows you to use your stuns more often, use the 3 grab more often.
Another Toxin, right clicks. Onto FBZ, pops that Fairy Fire. Cuckoo has to
5,
pop his
but
as well.
he's okay. That extra regeneration from the Tango, and of course the tower, a bit of armor, actually keeping him alive.
Fire Snap Cookie lands, first blood. Kezcute gets the kill on a Whitemon. So first blood there for Boom. They're leaving FBZ by himself. He's kind of struggling.
Now that I'm thinking about it, it's 3 ranged heroes against 2 melee and 1 ranged. And now they also got the first blood, so they will get the faster level 3, I believe. Like, Phantom Assassin is level 3, but that level 2 dagger doesn't really make the difference.
Going in on the Dream Cell with the tag team, right clicks. Also got Whitemon here trying to get this Medusa. Now going to the TP shards, the damage not enough.
Dreamer Cell TP's back to the tower. No mana, has 1 healing salve from Kezcute, will hide in the trees to regen up. Bit worried for the top lane, like Bristleback's not getting too much.
No, not at all.
Dire's structures are fortified.
Once he gets the bottle, then he will have the sustain, potentially can go back in the triangle after getting some levels, refill the bottle as well.
Just that 1 kill so far, but eventually Cuckoo, he will take out FBZ. And we said he was struggling. He's really struggling. It's getting difficult for him. Silence comes out from the Waning Rift of Carl. That'll allow him to pick up the Water Rune. There is 1 bottom, but that's being controlled up by the Enchantress. So Carl is going to get both Water Runes.
Carl's thirsty, man.
Gotta hydrate. About 4.5 minutes in, things looking pretty even. Makoto top of the CS, not by much over Carl.
And now Tusk TPing top.
Waning Rift and just putting some pressure on. Lands the Avalanche with the toss. Carl throws an Illusory Orb back. Jaunts over to it under the tower.
It matters
Okay, I was watching the top lane. How Bristleback died again. He's level 4, while Viper is level 6. So huge, huge difference. So Mikoto gets a solo kill on Puck. That's a big one. Now he's level 6, while Puck is level 5.5. Someone could TP mid, potentially refill the bottle. But you need to die first.
So we'll see who sacrifices the life. Courier going down to Kezcute. He'll pick off Whitemon's Courier, throwing some right clicks in on the Enchantress. Maybe you don't need someone to die if you die yourself, but Fire Snap Cookie from Hyde will keep the Tiny alive.
Unfortunately for Puck, because he died there, is not level 6 yet. So Tiny doing a very good job on a mid lane.
The only problem now is he has to walk all the way back.
Because none of the teammates wanted to die and refill his bottle.
FBZ getting tipped.
I think Cuckoo is tipping him because it took some time for FBZ to realize that he can play this game. Like, he could have potentially use this move a bit earlier. TP available.
Avalanche toss. Nether Toxin down with the Viper Strike used. Cuckoo gets the solo kill. He might die here to the Tiny. Does he have the damage? Fire Snap Cookie's there to finish him off, so they do get the trade. But now you've got the Dream Coil available. Minus armor onto Zephyr, who uses that tag team, has the shard, taking a lot of damage from the Tiny. Toss, Avalanche comes
He'll
in.
get the kill before.
Does he get out, Makoto? Illusory Orb available in a second if he wants to go the way of the Tiny, but instead focuses his attention on the Hyde, so Tiny does escape.
This is why I love mid Tiny. You know, he's the one controlling the runes. He is the one that can make aggressive plays on the side lanes, and this is the hero that scales. I do not want to see any shenanigans, any, like, I'm going to build the Force Staff mid Tiny. I want to see the scaling Tiny, Echo Saber, Blink Dagger type of a build. He's still on the top lane.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to expect this. Avalanche toss, Cuckoo taking a lot of damage. The little Shredder, the Snowball save. They'll get the kill into FBC. Can they get out of this one? Fire Snap, Cookie lands on a 2. Makoto doesn't have an Avalanche for 4 seconds. They'll focus their attention on the Cuckoo, but that might lead to Hyde dying, and that will. Icarus dive, Avalanche again. Cuckoo finally falls, but it is a 2-for-1.
And they are making space for Medusa. Medusa right now on a mid lane, getting some levels. Like, Phantom Assassin is also getting a lot from the bottom lane because they completely ditched it, going into Battle Fury. Not gonna be the fastest Battle Fury, decided to go for Orb of Corrosion as the first item because they were like tri-laning a more like fight-oriented build. But these two deaths from Viper gonna hurt. Not the hero that, you know, cares too much about dying, but they needed to help out the Bristleback because he was having a rough one.
Yeah, he's still just level 5. 3 levels behind this Viper. Get to that 8-minute mark. Enchant, slowing up Makoto. Carl does have Dream Coil again. They use that Centaur to get this stun out.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
They're putting the harassment onto Makoto, but it really doesn't feel like much at the moment. Faded Brooch picked up for the Medusa. Meanwhile, Hyde, he's caught. Dream Coil used. That was snapped by the Fire Snap Cookie. So Carl will get the kill onto Hyde, and they're moving around the map well enough and looking to harass this Bristle once again.
Yeah, I guess the reason why it's called Fire Snap Cookie, because it snaps the coil. Potentially. Not something you want to do.
Radiant's bottom tower
you a little
is under attack.
Ba-dum-tsh.
Do that sound again?
Ba-dum-tsh.
Ba-dum-ts.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
So even game. Things pacing pretty well. I mean, 11 kills in 9 minutes. It's quite a bit. When you see Makoto give away the mid lane to come over towards top. He's been up here quite a bit. Cuckoo TP's in. Maybe to look for Makoto. They do have vision on thanks to that obs. And the creeps, of course.
Makoto being very active, maybe a bit too active. Like, you still want to farm your Blink Dagger, get the levels. Did they actually use Glyph just to mess up with his CS?
I want to say they did. I'll give the benefit of the doubt.
There's nothing happening. Like, there's nothing happening on the mid lane, nothing on the top lane, so yeah.
Oh, you want that 2 CS? We're making you waste the mana. That is the mental attack on that one. Treads finished off for the Phantom Assassin. So going full treads before the Battle Fury.
It's going to be really, like, late Battle Fury. If he doesn't die, 15-ish minutes, I would say. Coil again.
Again on the Hyde. Fire Snap Cookie snapping that coil. And shards don't land. Hyde on the run. There's a waning rift to get the silence, but right into the hands of Medusa. They'll use the tag team. One last shot. Carl gets the kill. Now Dream himself fighting 2v1 as the Phoenix coming over. Icarus dive all the way across. They look over at Zephyr and will get this kill.
Medusa needed to get that last hit. Like, you want your Medusa to be able to get some farm. Right now, she's doing okay-ish, nothing too extraordinary. There are no stacks being made on the Ancients. One center ward once again, placed by T1 early on to be able to block the camp, block the more stacking. Viper finishing off the urn, going into Boots of Travel. Pretty standard stuff.
Mortimer's Kiss is down onto 23. He's dead. FBZ gets a kill onto the Phantom Assassin. The rotation's way too late from T1.
He overstayed his welcome on the bottom lane. Like, it's 11 minutes in. Yes, you had an aggressive tri lane. Your job is to be in the jungle right now. I don't think you feel safe. Just showing on the lanes. Tiny also closing out on a Blink Dagger, so you can't afford it. Like, Tiny can one-shot you. Well, maybe not. If you have power trades on strength, plus Orb of Corrosion gives you some tankiness, he can't. But they can take out Whitemon.
Yeah. Avalanche also hit Roche, so Roche can steal that last hit away. Could have been rude and done it. Yeah, I believe Boom have dewarded that sentry that was blocking the Ancient camp. I think they've dewarded that entire area. So now they'll be able to stack it once again, grab those stacks, continue to try and get the Medusa farmed. They also have the Blink Dagger available on Tiny, who's sitting top of the net worth. This is the point. Oh, Dreamcoil missing. All right, Makoto tipped back on a Carl. Wasn't expecting that, probably.
I was not expecting that for sure. It's very hard to miss a Dream Coil, but they managed to do it. Now he has a Blink Dagger, has a rune to work with, and can start to play more aggressive. Savage, once again, showing on the bottom lane. Like, I mean, they know he's there. They don't see him because of the blur, but they know he's farming up there.
They threw a Supernova out. Stopped them from really right-clicking away on this egg, which I think it's another game where they might have trouble getting the Supernova.
Heroes are not that good at killing the egg.
Radiant structures are fortified. Radiant's bottom tower
That could
is
certainly
under
be a massive
attack.
problem, especially even if you start to fight in onto the Supernova. Stone Gaze can really just make it impossible.
And you know where they're going to group up, so you're setting yourself up for a very nice Mortimer's Kisses. Top lane.
FBZ blown up. Very quick kill for them. Nether Toxin down. Viper Strike used. Mortimer's Kisses out again onto the Phantom Assassin. They've gotten the kill onto 23 once more. The shards are off the mark.
23 Savage should play in his own jungle. They should ward it up, place down a couple of sentries until he farms that Battle Fury, and then he can transition into Ancients. They should also keep stacking the Ancients. Those two, that's really costly. If you have one hero that either buys a Battle Fury or has a way of flash farming like Sven or Medusa,
Right.
and your carry is dying, and also a carry that builds into Battle Fury that relies on getting the Battle Fury to farm up, there's gonna be a big difference. Like next 2-3 minutes, Phantom Assassin needs to be able to survive, you know, and that I think Medusa will die. He is not keeping a single point for Medusa ulti.
Snaps it. Sunray is going to be enough. Fire Snap Cookie now walking away. Icarus dive over. Carl get low. And he'll be saved by the Nature's Attendants with a chase after Carl. Viscous Nasal Glue all over this Viper. Very gross. Goes down the Nether Toxin. Shards are out. Snowball in. FBZ might be in too far, and he is. So he's dead. Supernova on the back lines will get nothing.
That's the second Supernova not hitting anything at all. As a Bristleback, yes, you're tanky. Oh, Mikoto going back in again.
Yeah, getting the kill on a Whitemon.
Bristle needs to be careful. You're playing into Tusk, which is probably the best hero that can take you down with the tag team. They bring the numbers. And also, you're playing into Break mechanic. Nether Toxin, something that you don't like to play into. Like, potentially, they could smoke up and try to get another kill on 23 Savage. Tower gone on the top lane, so let's see what happens.
Definitely an opportunity to do so. Rule Shredder on the tower. Could be denied. Wonder if they will deny it. Just a little Cobalt there for the Snapfire. I think if he comes any further forward, he'll die going for the tower. They might be trying to bait him in on it. They also got the scan onto 23. They've got the Blink Dagger. The question is, do they have the damage to get the kill? I don't think the two of them do. Koda will continue to farm nearby that jungle, but they don't get anything on 23 just yet, and there's the team kind of grouping together. We'll see if they want to make a move with that smoke that the Enchantress is holding. He's in. He already used his Avalanche. Snap that coil, Sunray again to try and save him. I don't think it's going to be enough. They get a kill into Makoto. Icarus dive away from Kezcute. They all rotate towards top and get a kill on the Tiny, slowing them down. That's a kill on the Tiny, but Medusa's getting a lot of farm.
She is. Like, you can see the difference. She's staying 1k gold ahead. Tusk trying to go on Dreamcell. There is one rotation from 23, but just not enough damage. So they don't even go for it. 23, he just loves his bottom lane. He loves to be at the bottom part of the map. It's going to be 17-minute Ballad Fury.
Mid-high.
A very late one.
He's caught. Very dead to Carl.
You're moving at the 100 move speed. Enchantress is slow. Lasts for a very long time. Plus Viper. It's a bit too much. Mid tower gets denied. You also have the Switchblade. An extra slow, so you need to be very careful. Tiny going into Echo Saber, which I like. I talked about how I don't want to see any, you know, shenanigan type of a build. Like, even if he gets a BKB, Viper can still slow him down, but I don't think it's his job in this game to itemize for, like, survivability to get in and out of the fights. Force step, a lot of value from the item, though.
Dreamcell, and there's the Walrus Punch. He's out of mana under the Nether Toxin. They'll get the kill on the Dreamcell very quickly. They'll try and turn it for one on the Zephyr. Blink forward, Avalanche, and the toss.
Good kisses.
Dream Coil down, one of those kisses onto this T1 team. That'll force them away.
Yeah, just to keep them away from Tiny. Tiny died once. T1, they have a really good Roche taking lineup with the Enchantress untouchable. To slow them down, to slow Roshan down. Tag team is maxed out. A lot of damage. Minus armor coming out from Orb of Corrosion. But so does Boom, you know. This is almost a full Solar Crest down on the Snapfire, Goo. So whoever like wins the next fight could potentially transition that into Roche.
Yeah.
Radiant's middle tower is under
This
attack.
Medusa, I think once Dreamcell gets Ags, it's impossible to kill the Supernova, even if you thought you had a chance. Just the turning to stone and, like, if you fight anywhere near the edge.
This is a new, like, hybrid type of a build on Medusa, which I really like, because it got buffed. Like, this Aghanim Scepter, it's now 1.5 plus 0.2 per bounce. Before it was 1.2 plus 0.3. So the initial Stone Gaze is much, much better.
White unspotted, gets the Nature's Attendance off, and will eat through all of this. So soaks up all that damage. Nature's Attendance at level 4. So sometimes you don't see this with Enchantresses, where they go in heavy onto the Nature's Attendance.
They lift the wave.
They
lift the wave so Cuckoo can TP. Do they have any kind of stun?
Kezcute.
Actually, TP's out. And he TP's back to... Oh my god, he's gonna die because of that. He TP'd back to tier 1 tower instead of the fountain.
Avalanche and the toss. Philosopher's Stone on the deck. Not sure who picked that up, but now Dreamcell moving forward, looking over at Cuckoo. And they'll drop down the Dream Coil. That'll stop them from chasing Cuckoo, but the Mortimer's Kisses will be enough. Actually, Dreamcell gets credit for the kill. The Walrus Punch onto Dreamcell now puts Zephyr in danger. He'll fall as well.
I'm not sure whose Philosopher's Stone that was, but it's a pretty big deal. You know, they actually get the Carl on top of that. Carl out of position. This Tiny is doing so much work. Involved in 12 out of 15 kills, being very active early on, and now has Echo Saber. Like, this hero is going to scale. You also have Bristleback as your offlane to just be in their face, be very annoying. Plus Medusa. Like, she needs another 2 minutes to be able to farm up that Aghanim Scepter. It's also a great way of just stopping them from attacking Supernova. I think you can use Supernova in this game a lot more aggressively because there are so many tools to protect the egg with.
Especially with that Ags on Medusa. The Philosopher's Stone, by the way, was T1, so they picked it up and sent it back immediately.
Like, whew, if you manage to like get steal Philosopher's Stone and get one, like, it's just
feeling.
like old Dota, you know, having 80 GPM talents. Some hero had 60, some heroes had 90.
Some heroes had 420. Looking at you, Puck. That level 25 GPM talent.
Oh, yeah.
Just, oh, you want to just get a bunch of items once you hit level 25? Here you go, for
Dota
free.
had so many weird stuff in the game. Like, I think the worst one was 5 shrines. Shrines inside the base, plus the respawn talents. I remember
Respawn talents were
Lina
interesting. The lone
with the
hero
Bloodstone. Yeah, just you die, you instantly respawn, you die again, you buy back. Your game kind of ends, but whatever.
Bring him back.
Now we're good. It's really not needed.
Could you imagine you could set which talents you wanted on your heroes? Like a loadout?
Isn't that ability draft? Like where
Yeah,
you
but like in real games, you know?
I think Dota would not be a very competitive game, B-Cup, if we had that. Axe done. Instantly inside the pit.
Yeah.
Solar Crest, Goo, a lot of minus armor. I don't think it's going to get contested. Like, they could potentially try to scout things out with the Centaur Conqueror.
And when they will, but they're just not here quick enough.
He will get in. He's a speedy guy.
Yeah, you know, I say they're not going to be here quick enough. It's a 3-man stun. They're trying to make something happen. Avalanche on to Roche. Stone Gaze preemptively used, and they'll throw the Viper Strike over at FBZ, who pops the BKB hit in the air with the Walrus Punch. Mortimer's Kiss is coming through as well as the toss on a Zephyr. Dream Coil down, and the right click's coming out from 23.
PH.
Got the break onto 2. PA trying to do what he can. 23, though. It's not enough damage, and Makoto will survive.
Egg will pop.
Egg's going to pop right on top of 23, whose BKB is going to run out in just a second, and he will jump away after it does happen. Kiss queued in a little bit too far. Right click's coming out from Cuckoo. That should be enough to kill off the Phoenix. The right click's from Dreamcell, though. They don't hurt too much, but you look at them turning to stone as the Axe comes in with a Mystic Snake. They get the kill on a car. They look over at Cuckoo as well as Whitemon trying to TP away. Whitemon falls, and Cuckoo will just TP out.
They don't have anything to deal with this Medusa. They knew Medusa popped the ulti inside the pit just to secure the Aegis pickup. A lot of slows from T1. Pretty much every single hero has a slow. Puck with the Witchblade, Viper with pretty much all of his abilities, Solar Crest on Enchantress plus the Enchant as well. So they need to be careful. You know, you're out of position, one slow. No contest inside the pit, which I can understand. You know, surprised they still decided to take that fight. Now there is a BKB, 8-second BKB on Phantom Assassin with that Battle Fury. But yeah, you can see them not going for Egg at all because there are no Egg hitters in this game.
And the BKB running out right after the Supernova goes off.
Yeah. And you can see Medusa, like Carl dies. He also had a double damage in that fight, which really helped. And then Snake bounces, turns you into stone.
And it just makes it so difficult. Like Waymon getting right click down, killing spree there for Dreamcell.
When you have Aghanim Scepter on Medusa, on level 20, you get that -3-second Mystic Snake cooldown because it's huge, you know. Don't get me wrong, 2 seconds on the Stone Gaze is also big, but with the Aghanim Scepter, there's much more synergy going for the other talent.
Got it.
So Kaya finished there for the Puck. Makoto, he's sitting 4th and at worst. He's actually behind this Puck. Puck going Boots of Travel after. So Kaya-san for the Puck, Boots of Travel after. Do you like the call on the bots? Oh, Stifling Dagger, Fire Snap Cookie, Hyde trying to run, Scatterblast used, and there's the crit. That'll get the kill on the Hyde.
Boots of Travel might be okay if they want to cut the waves. Boom's lineup's not very good at ganking other than Tiny. He's pretty much the only one who can catch you, but with the Puck, if you're fast enough, can dodge that avalanche, get out of the trouble. It's okay, and he has a bit of status resistance with the Kaya and Sanj. Yeah, which is going to help against those stuns. The Stone Gaze duration is not going to be as long. Same goes for the Mystic Snake as well.
And our new sale of the Dota CD you have songs such as Resistance, as sung by Lilgun.
Just mispronouncing the words. No, if I had, you know, an Dota 2 album, it would be just Winter Wyvern, pronouncing Viper, Winter Wyvern. What else is there? Weaver, yeah, one of my favorite ones.
What else is there? I'd have to give it a thought. Got the Solar Crest being constantly placed onto 23 as he tries to farm his way, not into relevance, I think it's a little bit too harsh for me, but into a point where he can really survive, especially once Dreamcell gets this MKB. He's almost there.
It's gonna be the big timing for Boom. Having that MKB, Aegis will be gone in 50 seconds. Also, this Solar Crest pickup is such a great item. The best item in the game besides Sanj for sure, where like you can use it offensively, defensively, amplifying the output damage of your carry.
I believe the MKB is getting delivered. Still working with that Aegis. 23, he's nearby. And Junko comes out on the backlines over on Makoto. They've got the Supernova, but they have
no
the
one's
control
touching
on
the egg.
Makoto. They're not touching the egg. The Mortimer's Kisses are down. They'll get the kill onto Carl. They'll take out one. They look over now as the Vipers turn to stone thanks to the Mystic Snake. Right clicks in, just not enough to finish off Cuckoo just yet. But the mids get traded.
Yeah, egg is like no touchy. It's pretty impossible to kill the egg considering the amount of stuff they have to protect the egg with. Aegis reclaimed by Roshan.
He gets his life back. Not immediately, but he gets to reclaim that Aegis. So now, Sanjanyasha, Ags, MKB, going Scotty. Nobody's really touching the Medusa. I will say Phantom Assassin does have more net worth.
Radiant's middle tower is under
The
attack.
question is,
Still, the
does 23 get it
presence
done?
of Medusa in the team fight is much more significant than Phantom Assassin, and also Phantom Assassin getting a bit status resistance, SNY, against Tiny, against those like stuns, and most importantly, the Stone Gate duration from the Mystic Snake.
Mindbreaker. Fire Snap Cookie restoring 200 health talent picked up for Hyde. We'll try to take this outpost. Destruction there for the side of Boom, as well as a quickening charm. So start to see these neutral items stack up for both teams. One more needed for all four for T1.
Where are you going?
FBZ sold up via the enchant. They've got the Viper Strike, damage from the Impetus, as well as the Nether Toxin. Glimmercape comes out from Hyde. He'll run away. So now nobody using the Spider Legs anymore or the Quickening Charm, as Orb of Destruction has gone to the Medusa and Mindbreaker over to the Tiny.
Medusa holding the orb a bit better for also sieging the towers. I think the big timing is like just waiting for that second Roche, get the shard, get the cheese plus Aegis.
Radiant structures are fortified.
About to hit that
Radiant's
30-minute mark.
tower is under
I'm
attack.
about to hit the next Roche. We'll see how long the extra time is. I think a lot
Dire's
today. It's
top
been like
tower
over 2
is under
minutes.
attack.
Walrus Punch turns his back. They've got the Dream Coil. That gets snapped and actually puts him on the other side of the shards. Really not too bad for Boom on the reaction. Dream Coil now down, as well as the Walrus Punch. So
Dire's top
T1
tower
start to
is
back
under
away
attack.
from this engagement,
Behold!
keeping that Bristle alive. He is sitting bottom of the net worth for all cores. Medusa overtakes the Phantom Assassin. So it's a back and forth jostle for first. Who can stay top of the net worth, who can output the most damage, obviously. 23 just trying to farm up as best he can. He's got a Scotty and a Basher queued up, as well as the Shard for the Fan of Knives.
Fan of Knives, yeah. Dealing 16% of victims' max HP, which is going to be great against these tanky heroes. Break ability against the Bristleback.
Radiant's top tower is under
Tiny.
attack.
on the top lane, just finishing off his BKB. So that's going to be pretty big. Puck thinking about getting the Aghanim Scepter first, then instead of finishing the Boots of Travel instead. To be a bit more annoying on the map, go for those waves that other heroes on his team can't. And yeah, just feels good because there is not a single lockdown that can hex him. There's no such ability in this game, so Boots of Travel, I think it's a good pickup here. 23 Savage, holding on to Casual Cloak. He's going for this color coordinated build. If power threads are on strength, everything's gonna have like this reddish touch, yeah.
And now he's going Scotty to ruin it.
That's why he's holding a Dragon Scale as well. Even you can't see the color, if he puts it in, it's also red.
So is the Orb of Destruction.
Scotty's gonna ruin it.
Yeah. It'll be blue. If it was green, I would die.
Radiant's bottom tower is
Cuckoo on the high ground and going right after this Phoenix, and there's the Supernova. They turn to stone thanks to the Mystic Snake. They're trying to jump away over to Cuckoo. The Supernova goes off, and it's what forces them back with BKB pop by 23. They've got the Spirit Vessel on a white mon. Illusory Orb over, and 23 trying to turn this around on the Dream Cell.
Low on mana.
He already used that Stone Gaze. Right clicks, not needed when the Fire Snap Cookie lands, and there's
Coil,
the Dream Coil, the
nothing.
damage out of Makoto. And they get the kill out of this Tiny. The right clicks really are hurting 23, who's saved
good snowball
via the
save.
snowball. But is he out far enough? He jumps right on top of the Tusk, and he still ends up dead. So 23 gone. Zephyr next to follow. Avalanche as well as the toss. Out on a Cuckoo. They'll take out 4.
Yeah, Carl, he missed another coil. He missed a coil on a Tiny who's not Tiny anymore. It's actually a huge target. Not sure how that's doable. Even using it on
Carl might die. No.
Tiny and getting a kill there, it's really not worth it. Now he's going to go for a bit of a split push. Very hard to catch. They might need to get one Abyssal Blade potentially on a Bristleback to have that potentially jump lockdown. And Roshan is up. She's Aegis plus a shard.
Medusa shard.
Why not? It's a really good shard.
Cold-blooded.
The snake doesn't bounce, gives you mana, and also turns you into stone.
Good Supernova.
If he gets one more crit, they go for a bit more. I think at this point, Savage needs to play like this the same way he did in game number 2, with his Morphling, risk a lot to be able to gain a lot.
Oh. Yeah, the Dream Coil missing. In an odd spot where that gets dropped.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Good save from the Snowball. Unfortunately, the big play here would be if Tusk has a Blink Dagger available, he blinks out Phantom Assassin with the level 15 cast range. Could be able to blink on the Tusk, but unfortunately Blink was on
Dire's
cooldown.
middle tower has fallen.
So they do give Dream of Zelda shard. He's now cold-blooded. Not that he wasn't before, because Medusa's a reptile. But Hyper Strike, turn to stone. Okay.
Well, yeah, it's a snake against the snake. Can't really poison a poisonous snake. Maybe you can, actually. I think you can. For the people in the chat out there, pretty sure I've read it somewhere that you can actually do it. The different types of a poison, coil snaps.
Yeah, that coil snaps, and they get the quick kill on a Makoto. They look over now. 23 just trying to man fight Dreamucell, who throws out the Mystic Snake. Right click's coming through on a Cuckoo as well as White Mom. Viper Strike out again with
Carl?
BKB being popped. They're turned to stone once more. On the back lines, though, Supernova trying to burn them out. 23, he's stunned up for a moment. The control's kind of lacking. This might go really poorly for Boom.
They need to buy back.
The right clicks in, and they get the buyback coming out from Hyde. Sunray right on top of 23. Puck trying to do what he can. Whitemon taking a lot of damage. TP not in time. Dreamcell now wicked sick. They're onto the back line still with the Mortimer's Kisses coming in. That's out on the 23, who will go and blur.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
And Phoenix
TPing.
TPing to the outpost. It's taking a long time.
He almost died.
again.
Yeah, from the Witch Blade, overtime damage, Glimmer Cape.
Radiant's bottom
I don't think
tower
he
is
would,
under
even
attack.
if the Glimmer Cape is not used. And now we can see the power of the split push. Carl TPs to the bottom lane and starts to create some problems. Shiva's Guard done. reducing the amount of heal, like against these tanky heroes like Medusa, Bristleback. It's gonna be good, slowing their attack speed. And has a Psychic Headband, of course, because why would you not have a tool to break the coil with?
It's surprising, Stone Gaze. They turned him to stone. How can they kill 23? He'll jump over to the side, Scatter Blast, Fire Snap Cookie. They've got the stone with the Mystic Snake once again. Pops the Satanic. Stifling Dagger over on the Snapfire. Bristle nearby, right on top of 23. And this should eventually result in the kill of the Phantom Assassin.
T1 playing so sloppy right now. I would say, I said that they need to play a bit more aggressive. I didn't mean, you know, play this aggressive, be near tier 2 towers. And I just figured out how to counter Medusa. I think you pick Faceless Void, because he has no eyes. If you're not watching a Medusa, you can get turned into stone. Does that make sense? Are you stunned by this, by this logic?
No, it works. That should work. Well, that's war friendly. I was just trying to stay as stone cold as I could looking at you until I ended up breaking.
Maybe you thought it was real, like there's some kind of mechanic.
That would be great. But then, do you put an item in the game called Blindfold, where your vision is lowered, but you don't get affected by Stone Gaze anymore?
Maybe. Bottom lane, Zephyr will drop. Sandra Bullock from that movie, she also is not affected. Yeah, she can't get stoned by Medusa.
Dream Coil and the Snap. All right, Carl. Psychic Headband, showing off, getting the kill.
He bought back in the previous fight, will be gone for
90 seconds.
Almost, yeah. Minute and a half. I almost said 2 minutes because I like to round up the numbers. We've seen in the previous game that some heroes were not in action for 2 minutes, 1:33 as well with the Reaper sight.
I know we come up with a lot of ideas during the cast about what should change and what we could add. It would be cool if there was a custom game of just all our poor additions. Just everything we've ever said throughout the first 2 seasons here. Just put into a custom game of Dota. Ags almost finished for Carl. 600 gold away from that. He's going to get spotted by Makoto, I believe. Yeah, he knows he's right there. Spell Prism for the Dire. That's going to be great.
That's going to be a big one on Puck, lowering the cooldown on the abilities. Even though, like, I've seen people just keeping the Psychic Headband to be able to break the coil, especially when you get that Aghanim Scepter. We'll see. But, you know, Spell Prism is Spell Prism. Even after the nerfs, the stats is not 12, it's 6 right now. Still feels like one of the best tier 4 items.
So 23 was thinking about going into a Divine Rapier at one point. I think he switched that after he died. Going Nullfire.
There is a Glimmer Cape, there is a Ghost Scepter, Yule Scepters, wants to be able to get rid of that. Also, like, removing the Solar Crest potentially on the Medusa if they use it on her.
Medusa level 25. Tiny only 23. He'd love to have those 3 toss charges. Abyssal being built for FBZ. He's also almost on level 25. He can start outputting some damage if he goes to the Warpath damage per stack. Would you take that, or would you take the 13% spell lifesteal in this game?
Thinking really hard right now. I think... well, I don't know what to think, to be honest. Like, both of these are actually good. Spell lifesteal, they have no, like, anything to reduce it with other than Shiva's Guard. So that one could be okay. Just be a bit more durable in the team fight.
Zephyr got the axe. He got the axe. We got the Walrus kick in action. I'm so happy. I love watching that. Kick him out of the Dream Coil.
That's a big one, you know. Like, Medusa goes in with the ulti, she gets kicked out. Also can, like, if Tiny... I'm just thinking about, you know, how lore works. If Tiny's playing against Medusa, can he be turned into stone? Because he's stone already? Yeah.
sure. Viper Strike coming through onto the Medusa. They'll toss him away.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Not that long of a cooldown on Viper Strike, just 10 seconds with that axe. Literally nothing.
Viper, Timeless Relic.
Can't blink for the puck next, wow.
Axe done. Like, Axe is also very good with the Timeless Relic on puck. But yeah, they got the two best items. Maybe I'm just a spellcaster type of a guy that likes both of these.
You're my spell co-caster.
Whoa.
Let's go. Have Abyssal Blade picked up by the Bristle. Abyssal the Bristle. And then we'll try to get out of this with the Illusory Orb and the Phase Shift, but Carl spotted Yule's right on top, and Phase Shift to avoid the Scatter Blast, but they have the tosses. That's
there's
one.
The silence.
And there's the kill.
This Mindbreaker, because he doesn't have a way of dispelling things, because he got hit by it.
Oh, Kesku. He's going to be, I want to say, forced to use that Supernova. Yeah, okay. Gets forced to use the Supernova. 23 comes over. They'll throw the Avalanche out. They don't have 25 on Tiny just yet. They're going to start to chase this because they know they don't have to fight into the egg anymore. Snowball over onto Makoto. Carl's here. He used his buyback. BKB toss up and kicks him away, but doesn't kick him far enough away. Hyde just surviving. Right clicks from 23. Hyde walks away. The Dream Coil down onto the Medusa as well as the Bristle back. They'll start to run away on the side of T1. Can they get out? Mystic Snake turning Cuckoo to stone. That'll help them catch up. They've got the BKB. Mortimer's Kiss is coming down. Viper Strike on a Makoto. That's the Abyssal Blade. He's on the Phantom Assassin. 23 in trouble. Tossed up in the air. They have the damage. They get that kill on 23. They'll take out Whitemon. Cuckoo falls to the grave. And now it's just Carl to fight. He already bought back in this fight. So Illusory Orb jaunting over. Phase Shift for a moment. Do they have a way to catch him? Carl hit with the little shredder. But he's got the Illusory Orb and he'll escape.
This Tiny with the Mindbreaker silencing the puck was a pretty big deal there. Now Carl picking up the Haste Rune will need to be very annoying. Needs to be able to cut the creep wave. Buyback from Cuckoo.
He's toying with Makoto right now.
Makoto's dead.
Yeah.
It's just too low cooldowns. You can keep spamming that, lowering the cooldown on the Witchblade on top of it. Still, like no set of barracks, not even a single barrack.
Dream Coil used on the Phoenix. Kescute, silence killed. Carl killing Kescute. Taking the cute right away from him.
Roshan is up. So, Aghanim Scepter. Who can pick it up? Like, they can give it to Tiny. That'd be pretty big. They could potentially give it to Snapfire, and then you have a saving ability.
We don't see that anymore.
Like Bristleback's Aghanim Scepter is really, really good. Just AoE goo, increase the stack limit, and you can walk and use it. It does not interrupt you anymore.
Yeah. Dire into the pit. Phantom Assassin up in 6. They have buybacks available on two of these heroes. Are they going to just let it go? Might be forced to buy back or make a play to jump in. They have Mortimer's Kisses to shoot out into the pit. Take away this Obs and PZ moves forward for a second, but it looks like they're giving it up.
Yeah, they're not going to be there on time.
And now FBZ kicked back to the team into the Dream Coil. Little alley-oop action. They've got the BKB pop by FBZ. They've stunned up 23, but the Walrus punches out into the Dream Cell. They'll kick him away again. He's out of the fight and slowed up. Stifling Dagger comes in. They'll get that kill there on a Zephyr. So they take him to the Tusk, and they end up losing FBZ, who's dead for 100 seconds. He'll buy back. They've got the other two heroes up in a moment. Hyde gone as well. He'll buy back. They look over at Whitemon. Walrus punch stops Dream Cell from getting the kill on a Whitemon for now, but the right clicks finish him off after he gets out of the pit. Sunray, Stone Gaze, all used. 23 trying to fight. Supernova. Now he jumps away. Looks over at Cuckoo and 23. Makoto? Walked right by him.
He has a stun available, but the Blur, they know where he is.
Avalanche, toss up in the air, and now he's away from his team.
Ooh, does not get it off, does not get off for BKB as well. We'll have both of those.
BKB hit with the Abyssal from FBZ. The rest of the teams come over to try and save 23.
But Makoto moving in, Avalanche, Viper Strike all out on a Makoto. Carl now back into vision after the phase shift. They've got FBZ right on top of this puck. They're starting to throw some right clicks from Cuckoo, but how far are they willing to chase?
There are only 2 heroes with the buyback right now, and 2 more get it, as I said it. Both the Phantom Assassin and Medusa have buybacks right now. What does Savage want to buy? Like, I see Bloodthorn. Could start to think about getting that Divine Rapier. Maybe it's time.
Yeah, Divine Rapier might be the timing here. Hex being built for the Phoenix. Bristle going into the AC, double damage. He'll secure it for the Medusa. So this game's sitting really close. All 3 of these games have been pretty close.
Yeah, I think they just lost over 10,000 gold after picking up that Aghanim Scepter, which went to Phantom Assassin. So you can use that blurb more often, and it's an instant dispel, great against Goo, Fiery Spirits, Solar Crest, Silence coming up from the Tinies, Mindbreaker possibly.
So 23 going Bloodthorn, it looks next. Arcane Blink for the puck.
That's one way to deal with Medusa's evasion, because she does not have a dispel. Like, she does not have any way, they don't have a Lotus Orb, so they can't dispel it, and then they can munch through her evasion.
Dreamcell wants Swift Blink. Do you agree with this pickup?
Okay. I mean, Satanic is here. You can potentially have 1 more slot, and that's going to be much better than the Power Treads, because when you blink, like, compare Power Treads and Swift Blink, you don't have to be a genius to realize that the more expensive item is better in this case. You're trying to figure it out, huh?
Doing the math in my head. Calculations. But if Blink gets canceled, what about this? Da, da, da.
It still gives you 25 agility.
True.
But you lose a bit of a move speed if you don't have the active.
So, smoke used. They have a double damage bottled. That could be the difference maker on this. The game's sitting even in terms of net worth. They'll move over. Whitemon, he's the one who breaks the smoke. He's not too upset about that. Double damage gets popped immediately, so double damage gets popped. The bottle given back over since it's no longer holding the double damage. He'll put the Sanjin Yasha back into his item slot.
400 move speed when you use the Swift Blink and have S and Y in the inventory.
Top tower is under attack.
Not bad.
And then it stops working and you're down to 300 movement speed.
I know what you want to see. You want to see those tier 5 items, right? Getting close.
Oh, yeah.
Not yet there. We still have go through 50-minute barrier.
Did you see that thought go through my head? Because I
you-
looked up at the time and I was like, man, it's only 48 minutes into the game. I swear. We were getting close to tier
Radiant's
5s.
top tower is under attack.
But I am a big fan of them. I like seeing the RNG pan out.
So what would RNG be?
Ballista.
For Medusa, Ballista, of course.
Or
You know.
Pirate Hat. For
Pirate
the
Hat
tiny.
is also fine. Mirror Shield, one of the better ones.
Best item in Ocarina of Time. 2K lead for Boom, but I think at this point it's safe to say net worth doesn't matter.
It really doesn't.
Carl. Oh, Stone Gaze tossed up into the air. Toss the second time. Toss a third time. All right, a little volleyball rally there, keeping him up into the air and making sure he never hits the ground.
He does not. Oh, he does have a buyback. He bought back a long time ago. This Mindbreaker actually doing so much work. Shadowblade as well. The pickup could potentially upgrade that to Silver Edge and have a break ability against the Phantom Assassin. So Phantom Assassin, Nullifier, Orchid going into Bloodthorn. Keeping the buyback for now.
So now without the puck, can they force the buyback going through top?
Well, they're close. Phantom Assassin bottom, just trying to push in as well. We talked about that split push.
So standing in the Nether Toxin, Viper Strike thrown into FBZ. He still was moving pretty quick, but then the enchant came along and brings him down to a crawl. Bloodthorn picked up by 23.
You've got Medusa, who's almost full level 30.
75 intelligence. Oh!
Jumping in, looking over at this Phoenix. They got the supernova off. They've got the toss into the air. Can they get the kill on the 23? Not just yet, but they look over at Zephyr, who saves himself with the snowball. That's going to extend his life for only a couple seconds longer. Eventually, he'll die.
Gets the
now
kick.
FBZ kicked all the way back onto the team. They'll put the Dream Coil down on him, and they've got the axe. So even with the BKB, he still gets stunned up, but they will be able to toss him out. 23 going after Dreamcell, Nullifier, all the damage taken away the mana, but now the damage on a 23 isn't going to be enough to take out this Medusa. Dreamcell standing his ground, and the right clicks in to get the kill on Cuckoo, looking over at 23, 5v1, and they will finish him off.
But cold-blooded gave her some mana.
They'll buy back on this Phantom Assassin as well as the Viper. They'll throw the Viper Strike out onto Dreamcell once again, but the right clicks just feel like two over on FBZ. They've used that Illusory Orb to jaunt on forward, but again, they've got themselves the toss. Viper Strike, Illusory Orb, Carl catching up, and Will Waning Rip right on top of them. They've got themselves the phase shift to Avalanche, not going to connect. So now, 23 gets the crits on Makoto, taking him out, and they will finish off FBZ. 23 critting away and getting these kills. Looks over now at the Snapfire, who will TP right in his face. Stifling Dagger won't land. Now they go after Dreamcell, who's left all by himself. Will use that Stone Gaze to go after 23 as well as Cuckoo.
They're just
Viper Strike, Nether Toxin, down goes Cuckoo. He's going to be dead for 2 minutes, but 23 goes after Dreamcell. The damage is in too much.
Those crits from the Bloodthorn.
Medusa. 10 times spree gone. Medusa at that moment does hit level 30, but is gone for 90 seconds. A minute and a half.
Minute and a half. Yeah, Savage forced to buy back in that fight, now bought the shard, so he will have the break ability. Like, Fan of Knives is a low cooldown ability. I believe it's 12 seconds, so you can use that, maybe even 20. Let me just check that, because it doesn't, 12 sounds a bit too much. Too little.
They're going to be able to force the buybacks. Roche, it's close. 4th Roche. That's 4.
It's 20 seconds, yeah.
Radiant's
12
top tower
would
is
seem a
under
bit
attack.
too low of a cooldown.
God.
But yeah, now he was forced to buy back. Phantom Assassin level 29.
And the Medusa level 30 got the
I
other
don't think
part, which
Medusa
was
needs to buy back here. Like, they could potentially buy back on different heroes. Tiny also does not need to buy back.
Radiant's
Oh,
middle
Makoto's
tower
Courier.
is under attack.
But Bristle should. I feel like you need one buyback to be able to
Radiant's
hold.
middle tower has fallen.
Do you give up a set of racks to
Radiant's top
at
tower
least
is under
hold
attack.
for now?
Radiant structures
Or
are
they can make that trade. Tiny's out. Kisses. I think they can make it without the buyback.
Doing
oh my
a lot
God.
of damage on a 23. Has the extra kisses launched,
And the
it
extra
just feels
slow, so it's easier
gross.
to set up the kisses. So no buybacks at all expended on side of Boom.
Plus they're on the-
Roche.
Plus they're on the
Will
Supernova hit count too, right?
Yeah, Supernova didn't even die in the fight, so I don't think they can take it down anyway.
He's got to find a spot where he could be more aggressive. It feels like they're always on the back of the fight. Like, I feel with as many hits as it takes to kill it, he could just be in the middle of the fight and throw the Supernova
For
out.
sure. You can't afford. You have this Tiny who can close the gap. You have Medusa with the Swift Blink, could potentially blink into their faces. And we see the power of Cold Blood in the previous fight, where Medusa has no mana. There's one Mystic Snake bouncing, restoring a bit of mana. So they need to be careful about that. Don't throw any spells at Medusa if she has no mana. Otherwise, like, she might get mana, then she uses another Mystic Snake, bounces, suddenly she's full mana. Refresher on Phantom Assassin.
Whoa, Dreamcell blinking forward into the pit. Roche is up in a little bit.
Kick.
Walrus kick. That's going to put him back into the side of T1. Now they've got the
Punch.
Dream Coil right on top of him. They have the punch to follow it up. He's turning into Miko Krokop. So he's got the kick, he's got the punch, but do they have the damage to get the kill on FBZ? Not
Good
looking like it
toss back.
just yet. And now they've got the Stone Gaze that comes from the Mystic Snake. Cuckoo taking a lot of damage. He's forced to Force Staff away from this fight as well as pop the BKB. The Supernova is in a spot that's going to zone them out. Viper Strike, though, thrown at Dreamcell. He's all by himself for the moment. Stifling Dagger as well as the Nullifier right on to this Medusa. They've hexed up 23. They're trying to get the kill out of this Phantom Assassin, and now the Stone Gaze turning to Stone Cuckoo with the Mystic Snake once again. They've got the right click on his effort. They get the kill out of the Tusk. He's going to be dead for 75 seconds, and they look over as they've got the toss right on the White Man. The toss him onto the Phoenix, and Kescute, he doesn't have that Supernova. Does the damage from Dream of Cell matter at this point, as they're still trying to go in with the Phantom Assassin who's walking around the fight looking for opportunities to jump in and take out these heroes? But the right clicks from Cuckoo, they go after FBZ. They've got the silence as well as the Illusory Orb, but the Abyssal Blade is used and he gets it popped off with the Aeon Disc. So that allows him to get away from the fight and take out FBZ, but they found themselves 23! They get the kill! He's gone for 2 minutes! The triple toss!
Oh, he does not have a buyback there, so they could... I don't think they even need to finish the Roche. They could, because Roche dies in like 10 seconds. They bought back on... they bought back... No, they didn't buy back on Tiny. Okay, so that's pretty big. They're still keeping the buybacks available. 3 minutes without Phantom Assassin. Phantom Assassin is the damage. So Puck needs to be on the bottom lane, try to go for a split push, try to force out something, because they will go and try to finish the game right now.
They gave the Ags Blessing to the Sapphire, because they could gobble up, spit out, toss back to the rest of the team.
And there's so many abilities that you can move them with in this game. Like you have Cookie, you have tiny tosses, you have kicks, punches.
Just getting tossed up into the air.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Mortimer's Kiss is still on cooldown, so is the Supernova. They're going to try and defend this mid-set of racks. Actually going straight to the tier 4s. They know that 23 doesn't have buyback. He's dead for 60 seconds. They got the kick on a Dream Cell. That also snapped the Dream Core that they placed down. They popped the BKB on Cuckoo, and Makoto trying to do a decent amount of damage. Yeah, they can!
Yes, they can!
They can! They kicked him inside! Can they kick him in again? No, he's turned to stone. If they get the kill onto this Tusk, it might be a little bit of a problem for them, but now they've got the Supernova in a great spot. Snowball, can he kick? No, he can't. White on Zephyr, they both die. 3 goes down to the side of T1. They've got the Supernova going off. They'll get the kill on a high. They'll take the Snapfire, and they look towards this tier 4 that is protecting this throne. But they've got the Glyph. Cuckoo, he just cannot eat the damage that's coming in from Dream of Cell, who's now out of mana. Carl trying to do it all by himself. 26 seconds until they've got the Phantom Assassin back up. They look just at the throne. They will take this series. They will take this game, and they will win 2-1 over T1. Boom! Coming out on top again.
Boom, with a bit of better decision-making in the end, you know, going for those right plays. I think Phantom Assassin could afford to get a Divine Rapier in this game. You know, sometimes you need to risk it to be able to win it, because you could see the power of the hero just deleting those supports in 2-3 hits, and with the Divine Rapier, you might have enough damage. You know, a couple of the clicks, a bit of RNG, but in the end, Boom actually victorious at the end of the day. I'd say that they looked more consistent throughout this series and had the better drafts in all 3 games.
Yeah, and I think I agree with you with the Divine Rapier, with the way 23 is trying to play, going in and out of these fights, jumping back and forth, hoping that he hits crits. Divine Rapier might have been the key to victory. But boom, they win the game, they win the series, they take a 2-1 over T1. And to break it down for you, we've got the panel. Back over to you guys.
An intense game to close out the series, but the Medusa raid boss proved to be too much for T1 to handle. Maybe it was a little bit of an apprehensive itemization from 23 Savage. It was an interesting itemization all around. The Nullifier, the Bloodthorn, which Bloodthorn ended up looking quite good near the end, but still needed that last bit to put the nail in the coffin for that Medusa.
Yeah, kind of feel like if he just goes for like better damage items, like a Rapier plus like a Skadi or something, would make more sense for me personally, because the only problem was the Medusa. He pretty much fought him 1v1 for like 10-15 seconds. If you just kill that Medusa, which you can with the Rapier, I think. But yeah, he chose to go for
a bit more of a passive approach, safer approach.
Yeah. I never seen Bloodthorn on a PA, to be honest, but
it worked in this one fight when they killed off the Medusa with it. But
when it was 1v5, that's true.
Yeah, it was just a puck and
true,
puck
just a puck and
PA.
him, yeah.
Still, 2 cores versus 1 usually do win.
Also,
but
a
this
lot
game
of spice between Makoto and Carl this game.
With
kept
the tips.
tipping each other.
So many tips.
Carl had not the greatest start to this game. He literally dove Makoto under the tier 1, fed him the kill, saw a kill for the Tiny for no reason whatsoever. Got baited himself into dying. But this, just looking at this game, I was baffled the way it started. Like Medusa farms 17 minutes on the safe lane, goes a little bit to the triangle, then goes back to the safe lane, because They weren't taking tier 1 towers. What happened with T1?
Yeah, feels like they kind of forgot the basics of Dota.
It's like they forgot their own name, T1. They didn't want to take anyone T1 towers.
No, T1 team does. Yeah,
Gotta
okay.
take the safe lane tower, gotta take the mid tower to be able to contain that Medusa's farm. But yeah, he was just uncontested, and in the end, also the reason why they lose. Feels bad, man.
Usually, if you're playing versus Medusa, you want to play this tempo.
Yeah.
If you're playing with the PA, at least you want to take the tier 1 on their safe lanes so that you're playing around their jungle, which makes the triangle and that hard camp next to the tier 1 way safer for the PA. PA died there like 2-3 times. Why? Because they didn't take it for the longest time. So
And it's not like they were getting driven back either. You'd see T1 teleport like 3 heroes to counter gank, and then they successfully counter gank, and then they're like, all right, cool,
Yeah.
we're done here. We can go down to another lane and find another kill rather than take objectives.
ended up in this slugfest in the late game. We got two pretty cool games, I have to
Fun
say,
games
from
to
this
watch,
series.
for sure.
The first, it was pretty much because of the IO, right? A better draft, but these last two were a lot of fun.
I mean, definitely not the cleanest games at all, but very fun to watch. And, you know, sometimes if everybody makes mistakes, that's what creates the best entertainment.
It's true. And for T1,
What are they now? 1-2, right?
Yep, they are 1-2.
Hate to see it.
One win was versus Lilgun. Other than that, they've dropped both their series.
Yeah, they got still quite a lot of challenges ahead of them. But Boom now at 3-2.
Yeah, looking good for them.
Yeah, already as many wins as they accumulated in Season 1.
Yep, looking much better, more solid.
Who do they have left to play?
Who they
Neon,
play so far?
Neon
they
and
have some
TNC,
good,
right?
And
yeah,
TNC, I think,
Ooh,
yeah.
They
they have some pretty damn strong teams ahead of them. But you know, if they continue performing the same way, they have they definitely have a chance.
Yeah, they're. I think last time we interviewed them, they talked about a Bang being introduced, right? That was this team, or was that?
Was it Execration, maybe?
Oh yeah, you're right. It was Execration. My bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh right, Boomer, the Indonesian team.
Yep.
Yeah. Still very encouraging. And for T1, man, they need to go back to the drawing board
Again.
again. They have doodled all over that board.
They just can't make it work somehow. Like, it just feels like all the plays, like, if there was 23 Savage pre-major, he would have gone for the Jugular, he would have gone for the Rapier with that Aegis and just try to close out the game, but he was so passive, so timid this game. You know, it's not what I'm used to seeing from him at all. I just hope the major didn't like mess with his confidence.
I feel like their biggest issue is not even that he's not confident. They're not confident around him, and the way they're setting up the game, it's like they're bending forward, backwards just to make his game right. Like if he's ganked 5 TPs.
Not even in time.
Not even in time,
Yeah.
But Jackie before 4 TPs, he doesn't TP. Jack, back in the Jackie times, they would he would maybe suffer, but T1 was always strategically very sound. They would defend the high ground, the triangle properly, prepare the game for him, and even if they lose the laning stage, they would make a good comeback. And that's what really made me think, okay, these guys maybe are not in the greatest form, but they really know how to play the game, and off of the strategy alone, they take wins. I don't see that anymore. They're just completely switching up their style.
And as for Boom, back in the Drew days, usually it was Makoto getting all the MVPs. But here, it's going to be Dreamacell getting the MVP. It was a team effort all around for sure. I think Makoto definitely was doing fantastic on the Tiny this game, 100%. But it was the Medusa raid boss that ended up pushing Boom to victory. And actually, the last two opponents that Boom have are TNC and Smart Omega. They have already played Neon.
All right. So, not as difficult as we thought it is.
Yeah.
But yeah, well played to Dreamacell. He did what the hero does. Stand in 5 heroes, hit all the heroes.
And went for the same build that we saw yesterday, Saint Yasha into Aghanim Scepter.
Yeah, I like the itemization overall. He also went back into the Skadi, but MKB before that, just to be able to pose a threat. He also identified the fact that they just can't kill him. So MKB makes a lot of sense. And then Satanic
How
on
do you
Dusa is...
How do you feel about the Dusa right now?
I think it's super broken. I mean, we see it in Europe. I've talked about it quite a bit. It gets first faced by a couple of teams already. And first phase banned even.
Yep.
It is a super strong hero, and I think more people are going to pick it soon. It's always last pick for some reason.
Yeah.
It should not be slipping through to the last phase anymore.
And some combinations are so good, like Mars Medusa, Phoenix Medusa. These are combos that are really difficult to play against, and she just comes online way too fast. It's not your hero that just goes into triangle and AFKs. He was online much sooner than the PA. So.
Well, we will have an opportunity to maybe ask some of these draft questions as we have an interview with Hyde of Boom. Hyde, congratulations on your 2-1 victory versus T1.
Yeah, thank you.
Well, so I already have one game-specific question. In this game, what was the decision-making between making Snapfire the 5, or Phoenix the 5 and Snapfire the 4 between you and Kezcute?
I think it's because Phoenix is good against Viper with Entas. So the first thing we want to do is meet the Phoenix with the Tusk, and they trialing. We are not expecting that, so I'm tipping to bottom.
So it's mostly about the lane, right? So you can lane a little bit easier here. Yeah, I understand. Can you tell us more about your like gel and connection right now with Remocell back again in action? How does it feel together once again?
Yeah, right now we feels good because we already know each other. Previously we drew, it's kind of new, so we need a lot of time. But right now we kind of do what we always do.
So Remocell was right?
Kinda.
Okay, Hyde, here's a more intense question. So for us, all of you except him, because he wasn't here, Mikoto was our Season 1 MVP, but he has been struggling quite a bit lately. Like, what happened there? Is he like not as confident as before, or?
I think it's because sometimes we kind of lost focus in the mid game. Yeah, and maybe we're too greedy in the map. We should have just stick together and play as a team.
It's very different now with Drew and Remocell back. Remocell is a little bit less greedy than Drew, I'd say. Yeah.
Well, you seem definitely coordinated with the tipping. What was up with all the puck tips this game? Was Mikoto championing that? He was like, yo, guys, he thinks he's better than me mid. Can we all please tip him because he thought that I was going to die?
Yeah, I think because it's funny when he always tip my mid laner, and we do the same. We tip him.
Definitely entertaining.
Very, very entertaining game to watch, and very, very well played by you in the late game. Now, your last two opponents, Smart Omega and TNC. I think it's safe to say that TNC is probably the gold standard for all the SEA teams as they are currently undefeated. You guys have any preparation that you're going to do special for TNC, or are you just going to treat them like any other opponent?
I think we're going to treat them like the other opponent. Since everyone is the same, we respect them a lot in this season.
Well, your trend is going well so far. Congratulations on 2 intense late-game victories against T1, and looking forward to how you do against your last 2 opponents. Congratulations.
Yeah,
congrats.
Thank you.
GG.
Hyde of Boom. Yeah, definitely. I'm even though I wasn't here for Season 1, I noticed that you guys were praising Mikoto heavily, and it does seem like there's a different dynamic.
Yeah. But it makes sense because, I mean, I actually said that Remocell is less greedy. I think he's much more greedy than Drew, so there's less resources for Mikoto to shine, and he's probably just kind of getting used to it again because he has played without him for a long time.
But this game he played really well. Like,
oh yeah, he definitely did.
So far we haven't seen him shine and just carry the games the way he did, but this game he definitely did do a lot from that Tiny. However, sometimes he was forced to carry alone. That was why he shined, because all the kills, all the map pretty much belonged to him. He was the sole and only playmaker and kill taker. This time around, when you have Medusa, you can chill out a little bit and just do your job. You don't have to really be too versatile and also be the carry.
And time for the secret tip of the panel. Here, you know, the preparation for TNC. They hate playing against Medusa.
That is true. You mentioned that at the very beginning. That was and that was one of Boom's specialties all along as well.
Yep.
They actually lost versus Execration in Season 1 versus Medusa.
It has been haunting them ever since. They banned it against almost every opponent. They're like, we don't want to deal with this guy again.
So it's first phase worthy maybe in that series.
Possibly.
You think it's first phase worthy no matter what, so.
I think it is, yeah. And I don't know if Boom or any of the fans watch this, you know, but Medusa's good.
All right, keep your eyes peeled for that, and keep your eyes peeled for these standings, as now we are confidently at the midway point of DPC Season 2. As we mentioned earlier, TNC currently undefeated, and Boom have yet to face them, but Boom still, they've fought nearly everyone. Only 2 opponents left, Smart Omega and TNC, so that 3-2 score is pretty impressive. Execration and Smart Omega, 2-2.
Yeah, there were a lot more zeros in Season 1.
Yeah.
A lot more 0 wins, a lot more 0 losses. Looks to be much more competitive this time around.
Yep. In the first season, we had like Neon and Fnatic and even T1 doing really, really well, just dominating this time around. Yeah, it's a little bit different. And we do see teams match up against each other, these top dogs, a little bit sooner than before. So a lot of fun.
And we will see more of this Southeast Asia Upper Division action on Saturday when we return to this region. May 1st, it's going to be Neon versus Execration. Again, Neon haven't really played that much despite coming off of a hot run at the Singapore Major, so we're curious to see how they match up against Execration. And then T1, after looking cold, they are going to have to fight the top dogs of TNC. And, I mean, I hope that they prepare exceptionally hard for them. For Boom, sure, treat TNC like any other opponent. T1, I don't really know what to make of them still. That game 2, I was like, okay, maybe they're starting to get their bearings back. But against TNC, I don't know if that's going to be enough.
It's going to be a very, very rough second series for T1. When it comes to the first one as well, I have to say the Execration from Season 1 is not the same Execration that we're seeing right now. So OB Neon, they don't really have a lot of games behind them, and because of that, they should better prepare well. Execration is no pushover anymore.
Yeah, especially with this like newly found drafting style of theirs in the major.
And
They're
the
still
coach.
trying to do it here.
Yeah.
It's Neon needs to be careful. Execration definitely seem to be the top dog slayers.
Yeah.
And we are also have been slain. Or actually, I'm not sure what's going to happen, as we only had one series for Prediction King.
Yeah.
I was told that it was Prediction Kings plural, because I
Ooh.
do believe that all of us... there we go. Yes, we all predicted Boom every single game of this series. And so, Medusa, best hero of the patch, I will be the head. You guys can be my snakes.
I don't know why, but I feel like this actually suits me very well. Look at my head.
You're actually...
You're the cold-blooded
You're on
snake.
point.
You're the one that's my Ags Shard snake.
Yeah, I'm the cold-blooded
Lizard's
guy.
a little too happy. I don't really know which one you're supposed
No,
to be.
Lizard is like the last bounce.
Lizard the
Coming
last-
for you.
B-Cup's looking very pensive there. He's the one that gets the range creep last hit
The
for me.
board snake. Yeah.
Lacoste is the one that is just short of the range creep range and comes back early.
Yeah, Lacoste the unfortunate one.
Yeah.
But at least we're all in it together.
Yeah. We're all some sort of snake.
Yeah. Today it was a little bit difficult day to predict. We pretty much all went Boom, right?
I feel
Yes.
every day in SEA is difficult to predict. I don't know. Like I always have like I think I have a good read and then it just the complete opposite happens. Like, okay.
Yeah, it's not even like just the teams, it's the drafts as well. You have a feeling that the draft should be played a certain way and then something
And
happens.
then it doesn't.
It just goes away.
Yeah.
The whole idea just goes away and something else happens.
And unfortunately, this broadcast is about to go away, as we only had one BO3 for today. But we will be back on Saturday, May 1st. I hope you've been enjoying this PGL Dota 2 experience brought to you by HyperX and the premium comfort of Secret Lab chairs. We will be back on Saturday, and I hope you tune in.